very much like what I'm talking about with the resonance loop. Resonance loop. That's yeah. That's it. Write that down. Resonance loop.
Hello. What you guys
So,
What up,
What you guys
we're
got?
talking philosophy and theory.
identity, the other, the self, multiplicity, and noumena. Yeah, consciousness. Yep. And
Easily.
like things like so the idea that consciousness extends beyond the skull, basically, instead of being confined to it. Like it involves stuff outside of it. So it would be like a circle or around like what is the event Brandon being conscious? All this shit, basically. I don't know.
Yeah, it's the brain fucking structure, I suppose.
Well, not just the brain, but
Yeah.
like the signals in the environment, like all as like a resonance
Well, yeah,
loop.
those things in the environment affect your brain. Like every time you do something, your brain's never gonna be the same again.
But like the being is the same thing, right? Kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like it's all part of the same thing. Yeah, it's all part of the same process. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, because like that's always the question when people go, "What's a human being?" Like we're all humans, but what defines a human
Right.
being? Like
We're human doing.
Take us out of our environment. What are we? Put us into like a fucking white like room, like Neo in the Matrix, dude. Like, but
Yeah.
like subtract everything else. Like,
right?
we don't exist without the environment at all. Like,
Well, we're social creatures.
it's a
That's
whole
the thing.
Yeah.
stable.
We've been that way. Pretty much all mammals are. Pretty sure all mammals are
Yep.
social creatures.
Yep.
But we also operate with a sense of identity and a sense of singular unity within this one
Oh yeah,
individual.
For sure. Me and my brother argues about this all the time because he hates the idea of collectivism and stuff. He's like, I hate the collective. I'm like, so you just want like rugged individual like like. So I told him like, oh, so you could have slaves because it benefits you, right? Like like if you take this down your logical course, like you can do anything to make yourself happy, like individually, like I always say, it's a fine line. Like individuality matters, but also within the confines of the greater society in general. Like you got to play both ends of the games. You can't fucking pick one and think you're gonna be right.
Yeah, it's got to be a blend. I do wonder this. So we were also talking about the the idea that you're. I'm trying to think of the fancy words to describe it, but it's like your label. We have a necessity to have labels and categorize things and to think in terms of distinct entities and all this. And this could have been not necessary, perhaps, like if it's all relation based or if it's all substrate based, and then human brains became sophisticated by being able to label things, then what does that suggest? I guess that's kind of a question for both of y'all.
I suppose labeling helped us fucking deliver messages or information to another person easier than having to show them like everything. Like I can explain, like like bananas are yellow. Like I don't have to show them necessarily. As long as they know what yellow is and this, they can understand what the fuck I'm saying instead of having to like, no, here, look at this fucking banana. See the color? It's yellow, like I said, like or whatever, like.
Yeah, I never got color theory. Like we say, so. Yeah, Brandon, did you hear what I was talking about? Like this idea that the world arises and it's all relation based and resonance based and connection based and substrate based. And then we apply labels to it. And then like just because our brains evolved to be able to apply labels to it, that's our main
labels are
survival
resonance based.
Like that's literally what we see. Well, I was thinking that that's the opposite. Like the labels kind of break things up and makes it atomistic. You know what I'm saying? Like that's why atomism became a problem in the early Greek philosophy.
Right. So our problem, if you think about it, dude, like as we grow up, our axioms are more or less like decided by the environment plus like brain interaction. So it's like, then we bring this back to sensors versus intuitive. That's like their mode of coupling to reality in a sense, right? So they're looking at the sensed structure first before they are like maybe their preceding narrative, like leading them into that day, and so on and so forth. So it's like people do fucking lead reality from different like semiotic regions, as I would say it, or like functions. They're like, yeah, like brain regions even. You can.
Well, I would assume that your brain is like predisposed to thinking or feeling or whatever a certain way, but then like the outside influences or culture, whatever, like they chisel at your brain to make you form into the person that you become now, and then in 5, 10 years from now, you can become a whole new person once you meet more different people that have different thoughts and feelings and stuff, and it's continuous. That's the whole thing. You're never gonna
Yep.
like that's the whole idea with
Well,
progressivism. Like we're supposed to progress as people too, like a society and individuals. You're not supposed to be the same fucking person. This is not how it's supposed to work.
it's like we can be different branches, but we gotta fucking know where the trunk is too. You know, I think it's fucking that simple. But just follow it. We gotta know every fucking branch. We're all fucking like little like probes of like in time, just like checking things out and reporting back, kind of thing, and just doing our stuff. Like everything is so fast paced because of our lifestyle, and it's like insane. It's like, dude, it's like the whole wealth inequality just keeps advancing. It's like, what are we doing? Like everybody hates this. Everybody feels this like tension. Not everybody, but
no, the majority, the working class is the majority, and the majority are not happy about it. The majority have less than $500 in their bank account. 6 out of 10 people, and then 5 out of 10 people that make over $100,000 a year, living paycheck to paycheck. Yay! I've said this statement maybe like 50 times.
Okay, so I feel like God
That's
is
out of my head.
supposed to be something that is like it exists in our brains basically, but that we don't really tap into, and it's almost like a sign from the thing that's telling. It's like a meta perspective, right? A perspective beyond perspectives, beyond ego, beyond narratives and identity, kind of thing. That's what I think. It's like it's a common thread in terms of like perspective, like maybe harkening back to something very primal. So like Victor was saying the other day, like that, or not. Well, I looked up Osatru or whatever, and one of the people involved with it had the point that, or had the view that the gods were manifestations of primal forces. No, I think about that in a sort of like Nietzschean sense, right? Like will to power, the death instinct, and all these the will to live, and I don't even know how many more things you can bring up, but you think about that. Okay, like I mean, I think we take this like identity ego game so fucking seriously because it's a survival thing, and because insanity is like a thing, quote unquote, and we don't want to be delusional, and like I don't know how to say it.
People should be free to be crazy.
In terms of the psyche, dude, I think we're fucking nuts. I think the conditions for like identity problems and fragmentation and things like schizophrenia exist in the field. Like, I don't know, why is some fucking old guy saying like, "Hi, I'm Paul McCartney"? Like, dude, if you're gonna say
that's
some shit like that.
That's an existential psychotherapy perspective. When you take the existentialism philosophy of that, the phenomenology perspective is also kind of like that. But so the existentialist psychotherapist will say that schizophrenia is okay, and their hallucinations. What right do you have to question those hallucinations? That could be quite rational, and you just tricked your brain into being what society defines as rational, and everybody else, like the majority, are doing that. And that's what we agree on is not crazy.
Well, I mean, think about
people want to touch an essence of greatness that lies within all of us, but rests like within or like through a fucking like symbolic labyrinth. Plus like intersubjective shit where like, oh, these people think I ain't shit or whatever kind of bullshit, right? It's all a fucking game. That's the whole point. Like nobody, but a lot of people don't see it. Yeah. Like it's symbolic.
I mean, there are parts of it that are games and parts of it that are,
because we grew up without people knowing sort of like the whole or the core of psychology, right? It's just been random like I don't know. You chop down a bunch of trees in a forest, like, and have them like rest against each other. What kind of structure do we get? Right? It's almost like a thing like that. I've been liking the term assemblage lately. But yeah.
Yeah. And now we're chopping down too many trees in the forest because we're caught up in the narrative of consumerism and consumption.
How are you doing, Wally?
I am doing.
We haven't
fucking
fucking talked for a while, dude.
Yeah, I know it's been a minute. Doing all right, man. Fucking living the dream. I thought we were done with winter, and then it came back again like a piece of shit. But it's supposed to be
Yeah,
60,
dude.
70 coming up again finally, so it'll be gone again. Fucking 6, 7.
Oh, dude, yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited, dude. I fucking want to be outside so bad. I fucking have been hating
We're one of the few
this.
states that enjoy all weather. Like we have to learn to love it because that's just how we are. We deal with every single one, good or bad.
That's the right attitude.
Yeah, you have to.
Yeah, I need to be better about it.
I just try to. I try to
I think it's
remind
'cause I live
myself
here.
that I live in the safest place in the world. So in order to be shitty weather and all this shit, I don't have fault lines. I don't have bugs that kill me. I don't have fucking snakes and rattlesnakes and shit that kill me or scorpions. Like we're in the safest place to live in the whole fucking world. But it sucks.
Dude,
with the weather at least.
this video I was watching suggested that we could have like the genetic directions to like create Pokemon and shit. You know what I mean? So like, are we gonna end up like terraforming our own planet in a sense at some point, like creating creatures and then or just seeing? I think that's what's gonna happen. I think we are maybe being fucking retarded in like getting sad about killing species, which obviously need to exist for our ecosystem to work.
Honestly,
but
we could always
yeah, it's like
realistically,
are we being fucking retarded? I think are we being ultimately short-sighted by not like putting ourselves ahead a few hundred years? I don't know.
When did what's that fucking sheep's name? The first one. Hold
on. The Sheik?
The sheep. They cloned a sheep first.
Oh, it was
Dolly.
Lucy or Dolly. Yeah, it was Dolly.
Dolly?
That's right.
Okay, yeah, Dolly. I kept saying Dolly Llama.
Live
it's not Dolly Llama, but it's Dolly. Yeah.
Barely anytime.
So yeah, they
Dolly.
They made her. So in 1996, so cloning things is only 30 years old. So I mean, we're still, again, like relatively in the infant stage of it, but we still can do it.
I think enlightenment is remembering, like flat out, like any like approach toward it, and I think we are remembering parts of ourselves that we forgot, kind of thing, right? And that also applies throughout history in like understanding what kind of like cognitive process exists in history and shit. So it's like, I feel like we're supposed to be almost like cognitive Borg of like inheriting other people's schemas or like psychotechnology kind of thing. I don't know if that's like too fucking big brain. I think that that's just nature. What do you guys think?
What leads you to believe that? What leads you to hold confidence in that model?
I just mean not like a model, but I think it's. I think we aren't supposed to identify that hard with like how what we claim to be, I guess, with like everything we do is like a claim to be.
Man was just fucking your tribe and
stupid action, but
later, like that's all you cared about. Like you were like your family, and then you were British. You were your family, or you're German. Like you didn't have a billion other mini tribes to pull your allegiance from.
Everybody still has their quirks, though, right? And these quirks, everything like factors in.
But back then, it was very regimented. Like, they didn't let people have freedom to actually do their quirks.
My main point
back then, you would get thrown in fucking insane asylums forever. Never have a way out.
Everything comes back to what we think is normal, right? True. But normal is just a surface.
It's subjective, yeah.
Not the depths that exist in everybody. So it's like, yeah. I mean, you're right. It is subjective because not everybody can be vulnerable to just like say every single thought that they have.
They can
deal,
they just,
right?
They still choose not to. It's a choice at that point. Like,
well, they have to be taught to be vulnerable to. I think that's another skill that men have to develop in particular.
True.
Yes.
And I'm trying to get there too. Like, we used to fight about that all the time because I would never talk about shit, but I'm trying to get better about it, through the years and shit. But like I said, I grew up very like almost red pilled, where it's like, just tough it out, do this, and I had, like I said, once I started like changing my worldviews on everything, that's kind of when I became a different person in that department.
You said, are you the youngest? Is that what you were?
I'm the youngest male.
Okay.
I have a sister that's younger than me, but
I feel being younger, like the youngest, like put me in a position where like everybody was already doing stuff, so it's like, all right, what do I do?
Oh yeah,
You know, kind of thing.
when it came to cousins, like so, me and my sister are the two youngest on both sides of the family when it comes to all the cousins and everything. So like when we had family get-togethers, we pretty much never hung out with anybody because everyone else is like 5 years older than us, 7 years older. It's like, oh, okay, you
Yeah.
know. So that kind of
That's
sucks.
fucked up though. The way people just like they're like,
But I get it too.
you
Like
know, like
like
you see the sort of
my 16
attraction
well, I'm
pattern
saying my
there too.
16-year-old cousin doesn't want to
Similarities.
hang out with the fucking 10-year-old. You know, like I get it now. Like as an adult,
Yeah.
you know, like I get it. Like at the time, it kind of sucked because it's like I don't get to hang out there. But like I said, now that I'm older, I'm like, yeah, if I was fucking 15, 17, I wouldn't want to hang out with the fucking 9,
See
10 year
though,
old.
like, but it's like when we are like our age, we can find ways to connect with everybody, right? So it's like
We're better at that. I
we've
think than
reached
the
a
older
certain point,
generation.
and then we're like we've looked back more, and then it's like, okay, yeah, now like there's parts of myself that I'm comfortable with in all these age ranges, and like
Sure,
I know how to teach these kids, you know, and then like yeah,
sure.
like it's kind of it's very much like a mature yeah maturity is it's like a rainbow. It's like I don't
And it's
know.
not a single thing. Like there's no one answer. That's always the issue.
Yeah.
Well, maturity also has different definitions. The etymology, I think, goes back to like the way that we think about curing or like a plant becoming mature,
Yeah, versus
like the maturing and the full culmination of something, the full culmination of a organism into what it's supposed to be. So that's a lot of weight to put behind the word maturity, and I think that's kind of what it evolved into. Like you're supposed to be an adult, you're supposed to behave right and act like an adult, and so parents will say that kind of thing to their kids, like, you know, just act like an adult after they've grown up. You know, like
Yeah.
I mean, that's extremely vague, and that has 1,000 factors involved in that statement. The same thing with maturity, but
Yeah.
it's something real. Like it's always pointing to something that every society
And also,
recognizes as real.
not everyone starts at the same point. So like you might be maturing, but you're still way behind everyone else because you started at fucking like -5. You know, like even though you technically are maturing, it's just not the same to what society or norms, I guess, equated to.
Yeah, I was lucky. I got resilience and I guess some confidence from going through Boy Scouts and
Yeah.
getting Eagle Scout.
Sure.
And then I didn't develop actual self awareness though until I was in my mid 20s with psychedelics and mindfulness and CBT courses.
That makes sense.
I just like I see the way that I was ignorant and how children and teenagers were not ignorant in ways that I very much was. It baffles me still. Like I was just so mechanistic. When I think of meat machine mechanistic narrative, that thing, like I was 100% on that, and just like repeating catchphrases, saying things, people pleasing, and saying things in ways that
But I think that's part of being a
would,
kid too,
yeah,
because
please
you're trying
people.
to please all the adults around you or whatever. I guess, right? Like, because you also want the gratification of knowing like this person's proud of you or they think you did a good job or whatever kind of thing. You know,
Absolutely.
like think about like when they have like a young kid, they can call it they draw and they're way outside the lines. You still have to be like, oh, that was a good job. You know, kind of to build confidence or whatever. You know, like
Well, it's like context based, right? It's like
sure, yeah,
yeah, like
it's not a
a good
professional course.
drawing. Yeah, yeah. It's dude. I don't know. Uh,
Yeah,
That
there are skills
and
that
it goes
we
back to like I
develop.
said, nobody. It's like politics, life, everything. Nobody starts at the same point, so it's like it's really hard to judge or predispose like everybody's gonna be the same point because nobody starts at the same point. So like like the kid in the ghetto, he's not gonna be as smart. Most likely, they can. I'm not saying they can't, but on average, they're not gonna be because they're fucking hungry. They're dealing with bullshit. Like they didn't start
yep,
at the same place as somebody who grew up in a rich house or even like
yep.
a middle class house or whatever. Like there's levels to everything. Even then, you might come from like a rich house, but then you might have like abusive parents or whatever. Like so even like the outside, it looks like it's all fine and dandy, but really when you actually look at what's inside, it's horrible.
Yeah, dude.
It's unfortunate.
People just can't put themselves in other people's shoes.
Well, again, I
It's
think that
that
because everyone
simple.
bases off their own life, like, well, I made it. It's like, well, yeah, but
The
Yep.
you
appearance,
didn't live the same
dude.
life as them. You didn't have the same situation. Everything, the teachers, every little, like you're going back to your brain. Like I said, every time you meet someone new, your brain literally changes. You're not gonna have the same brain function as you did 1 minute ago because you met this person.
It's
that
like
changed
people
your
only
mind.
care in terms of like how like high resolution their picture of fucking reality is, in a sense, right? It's like like if you're just looking at the surface shit and then like what people say, like fucking Arabs or whatever, you know what I mean? It's like such base fucking thought. Like it's like I don't even know how to say it. It's like people just don't care about
Just generalizations to the
what
max.
what the
Like,
facts actually are, like what actually happens. Like nobody cares about. I don't know.
it's
We aren't taught to care about that.
it's like you just there just has
Or
to be like a
patterns.
baseline
Again,
of like
people always
extension of self into the environment, like so you can like the truth is a part of you. You know what I mean? It's like why are you denying this? Like just
because
I don't
we're
know.
pattern
Just
seeking creatures. We're not true seeking creatures. That's why I was trying to remind people. Like, we're not actually here to seek the truth. We just want patterns. We see
but the
patterns.
patterns is a part of that though. But I mean the pattern like diverts you away from the depth of the structure, I guess, depending on your conditioning. Really, like we're kept in
Maybe
like a
it's a.
fucking. It's the
Do you think
it's
there's a hierarchy of? Do you think there's like a hierarchy of meaning systems? Hello?
Oh, that's a good question. That's a very good. I
Like
mean,
so
kind of
you
in a
have
sense, but
I wouldn't say there's
I
a
don't know if there's
hierarchy.
a
I would
fixed
say
path
you're supposed to
to
blend
any.
them. You're supposed to
I don't
blend
think
them.
there's a
well,
fixed path to any of these systems.
Yeah,
I
that's what
think
I was
it's
saying.
just, yeah. I think it's. I think baseline, like you look at religion, like they're capturing the whole basically with these systems. Like by default, they're like penetrating the surface to the
yeah.
depth, and we just have more shit in the way to like get through, to like
Well,
get to see
what I
the
mean,
common nodes, and
yeah. I
yeah.
mean, we do have like way more that we're just dealing with in general. Like literally more philosophical baggage to wade through with everyone. But
Also, because
I mean, everyone
we
has
know
to.
more than any other generation. Like with the internet, like we can learn,
That's
like
what I mean.
like
That's what I
literally,
get
like
at
we can learn
after
all the
most of
fallacies now. Back then, you probably couldn't learn them all. You couldn't learn everything about
yeah.
physics or anything. Like, but now you can.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what I mean is
Oh yeah, man.
just like the hierarchies. I'm saying, is it emotion first? Like we react and make our decisions based on emotion first, and then
Yep.
narrative, and then wisdom, like actual or knowledge, intelligence, and wisdom. If you're lucky enough to be taught by, you know, a wise family or a wise preacher, teacher, philosopher, authors, people that will be able to give you those accesses to what we all have access to and we need to develop early on. I'm not sure, but it seems like the limbic system seems to be calling the shots for most
Oh
of
yes,
our
I agree.
reactions and decisions to like can't make decisions without an amygdala. That's a crazy thing we learned through
I
neuroscience.
mean, it's something as simple as like you might be anti-murder, but like if your kid got fucked by some dude or something like that, you might be a murderer, right? Like because emotional, you're triggered by your emotions. Like I know, like your logical brain, like these parts of you say this is horrible. I would never do ABC, but when push comes to shove, you probably will do ABC without knowing it, or just because of the heat of the emotion of whatever you went through or going through at the moment.
Yeah. How can we fix the way
What
that
is
people
up,
think about
Heavy?
this, especially with politics?
I mean, I just watched a couple of fucking Hitler Nazi fucking documentary shit, and oh my god, it is scary
Oh,
how similar we are with like
Yeah,
how he talks and like the propaganda, all like he's literally using all the same tools or playbook that he used to run shit to get all the power and stuff, and I can't believe people voted
yeah.
for this guy
Very
again.
people.
Like this is that's the part that really pissed me off. It's just how do you vote for that guy after 2020?
semiotic regions
Well, again, because
regimes.
it's a cult, or what do you want to call it? It's the my team.
Er,
He's my
Interpretive
team.
regime. Yeah, yeah, because they see that they're following the good sign, not the bad sign.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a
He's got
study.
the charisma and he's an ideologue with charisma and can speak for hours. Like he broke a record and he broke his previous record, which
Yep.
broke the previous record on the longest State of the Union.
Yep.
Dude,
He just knows how to speak to his base, the same thing that Hitler did. It's
Yep.
fucked up.
it's like the more you lead somebody in, like the more you fucking spin a fucking structure or narrative in their heads. Like he's literally like he's it's like he's
You just
pulling them
repeat the same
through.
lie over and over again.
It's like he's collecting taffy kind of deal. I don't know. Like
Dude,
it's fucking
all it
these
is
people are just fucking.
Think about him saying that the 2020 election was rigged. He's been saying this for fucking 5 years. He's had 5 years to look through this, go through all the court cases and everything. How has he not supplied one shred of evidence? But yet people still be like, 2020 was rigged. Like, you've had a decade almost to fucking figure this out. How have you guys not figured this out? Like, you should have a smoking gun by now. Be like, oh, here's
This
exactly how we know.
reaction.
But they don't. It's never gonna happen that way.
Yeah, delusion. There's true believer syndrome. It's like momentum. They're the inertia, dude. Because they don't think of it like a planet. Or think about like, okay, these people are like orbiting a planet, but they get slingshotted beyond the planet. There's like no structures nearby to fucking, fucking bring them back in or keep them out. Yeah, so they go back to the planet or something. I don't know. That's just where my visualization takes it. I don't know.
I put in the chat some appendices from a translation of a Vietnamese textbook.
Okay.
And it describes the cognitive process, basically the way that Patrick just described it, as the emotional consciousness being the first and lower stage of cognition, right? Because it's like sense data, and then how we feel about the sense data, and then we then the rational thoughts are downstream of that.
Mm-hmm. I feel like that's the last. That's the last one because I feel like you don't get to think about it until you're actually done feeling whatever your emotions are on whatever topic or issue or whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
So that makes
It's kind of structures a narrative across a incomplete picture of the structure, more or less. Mm-hmm. So it's like if you lack critical pieces of the structure, you can't see the context in which your decision is wrong, kind of deal. But also, it relates to a biological presence in the system, I guess. So
it's crazy. This is Introduction to Basic Principles of Marxism-Leninism. I thought I was looking at like a cognitive science book.
Yeah.
That's funny.
That is good.
It's great they go to the foundations of philosophy for so much of that. I really have to study more dialectic materialism.
Yeah.
Definition is the first phase of rational consciousness. Judgment is the next phase of rational consciousness. And then reasoning
that book is free to download online. It's on archive. It's a good overview. It's got a lot of what's the word I'm looking for? Illustrations and stuff.
Cognitive theory of dialectic materialism. Yeah, a lot of them. The first page looks. I've seen similar things like this too. It's just been a while since I've studied this. But it's kind of like models of consciousness, or models of one's psyche and how that develops, and how they access their psyche as well. You wonder if. I wonder how this can be tied in with the amygdala and the limbic system and like the neuroscience ones here. Because that worries me when we're asking people to do all this growth, if they do actually have cognitive impairments or physiological impairments, neurophysiological impairments that would prevent them from doing what they need to do or accessing these levels, like going up to these levels. If it is such that humans are restricted in their ability to reach all of these levels of self-awareness, behavior adjustment, enlightenment, and all that, whatever you want to call it, that means that needs to be accommodated for by the state or by the community at some level, I guess.
Yeah. That's what Rockhill and Jennifer Ponce de Leon argue in that short text that I've shared a couple times, toward a compositional model of ideology. They talk about how like when a person is immersed in all of these signs and symbols and sensations that are so curated by capital, that the process of like inverting those signals and sort of taking control back over your mind is uh, pretty much impossible if you're just an individual because you're being bombarded constantly. So it's like it points, I guess, at the importance of developing uh, culture and organization along the lines that we, aspire to, right? Like, and not to be like, this is the perfect way, right? But like getting in a group with other people that are growth oriented, and, like agree to a certain type of practice. It's like only if you immerse yourself in practicing other than that sort of like norm, you're going to default to the norm. And so like, I think Rockhill ends up in that piece like ultimately arguing that there does need to be a cultural revolution at least, but really he's saying, ultimately he's saying that the way that society is structured needs to be changed in such a way that it will promote the positive development of people. Because right now we demote the positive development of people.
Mhm.
Only to the point that we can keep extracting from them.
Well, it's
like,
like-
we'll give people enough mental health care that they'll be able to stay working, but we won't give them like transformative health care.
It's like by
Yep.
necessity, so they can continue to profit, so they can remain, in business.
Medical industrial complex.
It's pretty disgusting, the whole thing. It's like everything's made or designed to fall apart, right? It's like capitalism 101 almost.
Yeah. I do try not to get depressed by it though, and one thing that's helped me is to think of it in terms of it just happening because it happened. Like, it's no one person's decision. Like, Edward Bernays that's a name you can definitely attribute a lot of this to. Edward Bernays was
He's a
the nephew of Freud. And the nephew of Freud who studied Freud's work and borrowed it and used it to figure out advertising in modern day targeted advertising. So yeah, I mean, that's one, but it's like he created that system and then other people latched onto it. And he also kind of like semi-discovered / created that because of all of Freud's work. And Freud was also in this process of discovering and doing psychological exploration, like exploring the human psyche and
Okay.
writing about it. And so we're in this process of becoming, process of exploration.
Think about
We have to get more involved in it. Like, we can't just let it happen to
economic
us.
structures in terms of evolution, like Darwinism, right? Like maybe the field conditions are not such that an enduring structure can, be like to like a certain limit, you know what I mean? So like, is the economic structure that is going to last the next 300 years in existence? Like, I don't know. So it's like that
No
phase
way.
of development is sort of advancing on the like economic structure phase, and then look at the ship of Theseus element to it, and then like the reproduction element as well. You know what I mean? So it's like you can probably look at economic structures maybe in terms of biology. I don't know. I mean, it is basically an extension of biology plus the environment. I mean, it literally is just one. It is a part of biology, straight up. Like the ecosystem. The ecosystem
What is that guy's name, Patrick? Nate Higgins or Higgins?
Yes,
He
Nate
talks about
Hagen.
the superism.
You can think of resource
Yeah.
deposits as like nodes or organs or whatever. You know what I mean? Like all this stuff you can systematize social science, I think, in terms of biology and ecosystem, and then extend ecosystem to resource deposits and shit like that, right? I don't know.
Yeah, Marx actually wrote about he coined the term or was an early adopter perhaps of the term metabolic rift because he was recognizing how industrialized and industrializing nations needed so much more nitrates than they were prepared for like industrializing agriculture. And so there was somewhat of like a race to find deposits of nitrates that could be relied upon for these new massive like industrial scale inputs. And he talked about metabolic rift in the context of taking something from the natural ecosystem from one part of the world and then using it as inputs in the other part of the world. You're causing a metabolic imbalance between the
Yeah,
two parts of the world, right? And so it's like
destructive.
you're like widening that gap in a way that is fucked, right? It's like an unsustainable global metabolism. And so yes, the biology metaphor it works and is apt and is a useful tool, I think.
Yeah, Nate Higgins also uses the superorganisms, and that also influences my thinking too. And I use superorganisms of greed and capitalism, the superorganism of technology and language. Like Wittgenstein says, we're bewitched by language. It's kind of like words exist and are waiting to be formed or waiting to be discovered, and we kind of just instantly latch onto them, as we see with the pathological issues we're having with diagnostic default and all that. But also just with philosophy and just with general meaning making systems, like we love to use fancy words, at least in the West, with our noun heavy language, English. We are very much
Yeah.
gravitate towards labels like that. But I mean, Higgins is also one thing that's interesting. He predicted a lot of what's going on in Iran, and now his channel is kind of giving lenses on how economics works in the world now and how it might be. Like, he's making predictions on how this is going to go, but just like specifically the economic and energy based influences that went into the way that we're attacking and all that. It's been interesting to catch back up with him. You said he
I
used
didn't
the
realize he
term.
was.
You said he was you mentioned him earlier. I think you said he was using a term. I missed it. I lost you. Oh no. Well, we'll hopefully stop fighting, stop blowing up children in schools. That'd be really nice.
The thing is, like, fighting's not necessarily a problem. It's having a just cause to go there. Like, that's always a thing. Like, I don't care if we have to go to war and stuff per se, but like, better be a good fucking reason, not just fucking I think or I feel this way or whatever the fuck like they're doing now.
Literally said, "We'll end this war when I feel it in my bones."
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Literally
Like,
said, "That's why."
that's what I'm
I want
talking
to
about.
strangle him by his fucking fat neck.
That's my whole point. It's like, going to war is not necessarily a bad thing. It's the fucking how you're doing it and why.
Yes.
Did you see the footage of people? Did you see? Not footage. The articles of people saying that our troops are being told it's a holy war.
Yeah, 200 people.
Oh,
200 people said that they made a complaint that Hegseth said that this is a holy war. Trump's God, basically.
fucking retard monkey, fucking ape, like gone, fucking just. I don't fucking understand these people, dude. I don't fucking get it. Like, just fucking shake out of it.
Well, again, they're trying.
Fucking up.
That's part of the stupid thing about religion or religious people, especially the extremists, is that they're literally trying to bring the end of the world so God or Jesus can come back. Because in the Bible it says that Israel has to be at war and all this other horrible shit. So they're literally just trying to bring it upon to make it happen so they can bring Jesus back. Like, it's so stupid. So they're gonna affect and hurt everybody else just for that.
Christ is within.
Have you seen our nation's faith leader? This woman, Karen-looking lady who's
the blonde hair lady.
Yeah, and she's talking about it like that, like this is a holy war and we're justified in our attacks. Like at the maximum, dude. Like, she is insane. I don't know if y'all have actually seen any clips, but
throw yourself into
shit, dude,
the fucking whatever.
Crazy ideologue, like.
Go to
Never
battle.
seen
If you want to go to battle, go to fucking battle. Don't be a fucking bitch. Fucking send our goddamn kids or whatever to
Well,
the
again, I like
shit.
Jesse
Like,
Ventura. He's like, anytime that someone votes to go to war, they should automatically have to send one of their first relatives to that war in the front line. Like
I do think
kings
that
and
the circle
queens
of
from back in the day.
compassion
Like, if the king went to
there.
go, if the king
Oh,
said we're
Lord.
fighting here, the prince is out there fucking leading the charge, like to build morale and all that kind of shit. But like, the idea is like, it's so just that even the fucking leader would send his own child to die. Like,
I feel like if you
That's
do
the
have
joke.
kids, you get like the multiplicity projection as like an indexical kind of thing, right? It's like I don't know.
Did anybody else read Game of Thrones?
yeah, I have.
I didn't read
I
it.
was thinking about how the different families would send they would like trade offspring,
Sure.
right?
Yep.
And it's sort of like it's like trading hostages, right? It's like
In a way.
assurance that you're not gonna invade, So it's like it's building ties, but there's also this element of coercion to it, and
Also, it's to keep the money. It's also a lot of people didn't realize, like England and stuff too, is to keep the money inside the family. So like a
yep,
Are
lot of
you
these people were
trying
fucking
to?
like
Ooh,
you would marry your daughter to like your second or third cousin because you didn't want other
yep,
families getting your loot and your property and your land. So like that also led to a lot of fucking mental problems and shit.
oh,
Like a lot of horrible
there's
shit.
this game. What is it called? Crusader Kings, where you like gotta play kind of dirty games with your children and shit.
No, I bet, dude.
What was I thinking? So, are you talking about like the origin of a war or whatever, like the basis for it,
Me?
or what were you talking about? No, Evie
Oh,
with the hostages
Oh
thing.
no, no, I
Oh,
was just remarking on that. I forget what someone said that sparked it.
yeah,
But I was thinking about that. Oh, it was leaders having to send their
yeah. The
kids to
kids.
war
Yeah.
being a prerequisite, right? And so what made me think about that was Hunter Biden being on the board of the Burisma gas company in
Yep.
Ukraine. He was getting an $80,000 a month
Mm-hmm.
salary. Um, to compared to like $600 a month or something for the average gas worker there. But
Sure.
on that specific board of directors was also a co-founder of Eric Prince's Blackwater, which is like a mercenary group,
Yeah.
right? And now they're called Academy, I think.
Yeah. Some crazy ass
But
name.
also a former like deputy director of the CIA. So you had like all these fucking spooks and Hunter Biden on the board of this gas company. And I was like, this is some Game of Thrones fucking hostage shit.
Well, huh, dude, that's crazy, man. So,
And that,
yeah.
so
Okay. Yeah.
Iran is the third highest oil reserves, and then it's Canada has the second, I think, and then
Well,
I forget who has
I
the
just
best.
watched a video. I think it was.
Oh, it's
I think
Iraq is the second.
it's about 10-12% of the all oil reserves are there in the Gulf right there, and about 20% of all natural gases is in that Gulf
Yeah,
region. So like 30% of all the world's oil and natural gas is in that little fucking crevice of the world.
yeah, and the Strait of so Canada gets 40% of its oil from there that goes through the Strait of Hormuz.
Okay.
China also, I forget what the other. There's another major stat that they get like most of their goods and resources that way, but or that's a major one, not most of it. But there's other huge nations. I think India is
They said it was
30%. Yeah,
China.
India is 30.
So China, South Korea, and Japan are 3 top 10 GDP countries, and they all get their oil from there. So I know those three for sure are really big ones.
This is ridiculous. I mean, I just don't know. I saw this coming a while back too, and I was
Same.
thinking like, man, this
know.
is ridiculous.
That's
I
why I
just
always
don't
tell
know
all
what
my
to do.
friends and shit that I talk to at the
Cool
bar
to
and shit. I'm
see
always
it.
like, dude, I predict all these things and they all come true, and you guys keep thinking I'm fucking lying or stupid. It's like, how the fuck do I know everything? Because I actually read. It's not really hard, but I mean, like, yeah, I'm trying to I act like it's a superpower, but it's really not fucking that hard. Just pay attention and fucking all this. I mean, even before we went to Iran, to do the war in March, like I was trying to tell people, like a week or two before, like they're sending like 5 ships, like 5 cruisers to Iran. Like there's gonna be a war coming. No, why else would you do this? Like everybody in the whole world knew this was gonna happen. Like once you start doing that, and again, we just sent
Trump
2,000
was
more
going to get.
troops there recently. Marines. Ugh.
I knew Trump was going to get reelected too. I knew that after
Yep. Dude, how about
he
this?
left office. I was
The
like, "There's no way he's not going to be
the Trump
bragging."
the Mar-a-Lago case where he had the secret files, whatever. That was what the files were about. Is his plan to attack Iran? Like that was the files he was showing off to people. Like, look what I could have
So
declassified and shit, but I didn't. Like. So again, we all knew this was gonna happen. Like it was all set. The pieces were on the board, the chessboard. We all knew. Just.
yeah. So do you know the Dre dossier channel? This I want you all to check this out if you like politics. It's I think it's just DREY, but yeah,
Dre what?
Dre dossier.
Dossier.
Dossier or dossier or however you pronounce it.
Yeah,
So she's like a smart conspiracy theorist or whatever. Her channel looks into like the legit conspiracy theories and all that, or the more legit ones. So yeah, she's been tracking this whole theory that the under the ballroom there's an there's an AI data center. Because they're spending way too much money on this ballroom. Like the numbers don't match up. They're buying shitty materials too. Like it's not like Trump's style to deck the place out, and like he should be using Versace and all these other big names. And there's she's just like tracking where the money's coming from and like who's investing in it too. And it's all tech billionaires. It's the tech billionaires that work for the AI organizations that are funding the freaking ball. Like, why are they funding a ballroom? So it's that's cool. We're just throwing money away. So dumb. And then we're doing the same thing in Virginia, like 40 minutes south of here or something. Like it's a massive AI data center. That's
Dude, how about this? I think it was 85% of our GDP last year. 85% of our GDP last year was just building data centers.
That's nuts.
That's fucking wild. Like it's literally our whole economy, all of 2025 was just one thing. That's why you read all the jobs reports like, oh, we're losing all these jobs and all these things are bad happening, but the economy keeps going up. Why is that? Because it's all funneled into one sector, and that's the only thing that we care about in America currently.
What the fuck? So, wild. Dude, we're literally just like the help for the like rich and powerful of the world, basically.
Like, I mean, there is
flat out like we subsist,
you
but
want to be the
we're
leader
like
of
farm
hands.
hands.
That war. So I get it to an extent,
like,
but it's just crazy that you don't try to like
work animals,
build up your like farming or your fucking education.
The way I see it is these guys. So think about like history as like a wave. Like these guys are like the final like piece of like a fucking psychotic like power sect that like has like remained, and they're about to be fucking squeezed out of existence. Hopefully or we get fucking squeezed out of existence. That's, I mean, straight up, it's like a thorn in like the nervous system of fucking humanity and mankind. That's like now. I mean, I don't know about now, but like for the most part, it's recognized across the fucking board, right? And people are feeling it. They're feeling it on an existential level and a fucking everything level, right? Because like the internet basically keeps us entranced into like some state or like some like a state of like I don't know, I don't want to say fight or flight because it's not that dramatic. I mean, it's all just absurd, right? Because it's I don't know, they keep these connective ties in place, kind of thing that like just empower us.
The fight or flight is definitely. I'm glad you're wary of describing like that because that's where we get into the learned helplessness narratives we see in modern psychology.
But, it's an exaggeration, or
pathologizing the existential crisis we face.
But I mean, yeah, tribal belonging.
So that maybe anybody that's like super invested in either political party could be said to be engaging in, to some extent, in the fawn, right? Because it's fight, flight, freeze, or fawn, and so it's like I never thought about it like that before, but like to what extent is people's like clinging to like partisan corporate parties a trauma response, right?
Absolutely.
That's how I feel.
I like
Well,
the
part
word.
of
I
it
like
is
the.
like it aligns with your ideology. Like I have a lot of writing on that too. Probably too much. Just how, like this particular party, like the Liberal Party is more liberal with the resources, and that's where accommodations come from. And the more that we pathologize, the more that people want the physical accommodations. Like if it's fidget spinners or if it's like really good quality counseling, that it's hard to draw those lines and how much of that should come out of the taxpayer's pocket. I think as much as possible because we're fucking wasting so much money on war. But
$890
Yeah.
million a day.
Like, if we fucking figured out the bullshit jobs and like the elements in which capitalism is just like an Ouroboros, right? Devouring its own tail, like generating its own need for work and
like that's all. Like I said,
claiming it.
I like the idea of having a maximum wage. Again, I like the idea. Like we should just put a maximum wage. You can only make.
No, we need to like really restructure this shit. I feel like I don't know, man. Like
Well,
at present, it's like a free market assemblage kind of thing.
Did you read Bernie's plan?
Bernie's plan?
Yeah. He wants to tax them like 2% of their wealth every year.
I mean, like short incremental
change
change where we can get it is good. Yeah, I mean, whatever fucking nourishes the people, right? Like that's what we need is like some relief of like, oh, like everything is gonna be all right. Like we're not like living in a dog shit reality.
I like the free money. That was cool. When I got free money during COVID, that made me happy.
Yeah.
Yep, that is true. Whatever. A win is a win.
Here you go.
I was chilling so hard during COVID.
Bernie Sanders wants to put a 5% annual wealth tax on the 938 billionaires in America, which those 938 billionaires own $8.2 trillion. So he wants to get 5% of that money.
You guys can keep control. Just share a little bit.
So basically, his plan. So if you were to take that money, he would give every person that makes $100,000 or less would get a $3,000 check. Let's see here, and then healthcare. That's a big thing. He wants to put universal or a single payer tax or a single payer health system. So that's what his plan is to basically directly pay everyone $3,000 and then give everyone healthcare with the billionaire's money.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm like, I think we need UBS. I see major problems with UBI.
What's UBS?
But universal basic services.
Yeah.
Right. Like.
But
like
if you
just know.
I mean, I get that to an extent, but like, if it comes down to like robots do take over all the jobs, you're gonna have to have a UBI too, because.
That's what I'm tending to think as well.
Yeah, I guess. So for me, it's like, I guess maybe a portion of the UBS would need to be like liquid. But the reason that I'm more pro UBS than UBI, is because UBI, the landlord can just keep on doing what they're doing to the housing, the real estate industry, and so like it's like they would keep us on the very bare edge of poverty, or like precarity really is more what I'm going for than poverty. But if we had UBS, so like your housing is either paid for or like say it's like capped at like 10% of your wages,
subsidized. Yep.
That would be sick.
But my thinking is always, if there is no jobs, how do billionaire people make money? Because we wouldn't be able to buy things because we would have no money because there's no jobs. Like you have to.
That's part of it.
You have to give people money in order for us to spend money so rich people can get rich. Like there's that dilemma. You always have to figure that shit out too, or at least has to be a part of your thought process, because like I said, people don't realize like if there is no jobs, then like there's no money to be made, and the rich people are gonna have no money to be made either. Like
this is actually an interesting contradiction. it's an objective one, right? It's like we're all looking at it. It's a thing,
Or
you know. It's like if
it's a
you don't.
future problem we all know is gonna happen. We're trying to fucking figure it out while we still have time to figure
Well,
it
I
out.
mean, more like say like you know, in a factory town, you know, if or in you know like any industrial economy, if
Mm-hmm.
you're only paying your workers enough to survive, but you're not paying them enough to also like consume to
Mm-hmm.
like buy consumer goods,
Yep.
um, you're not going to be able to sell your shit, right?
Yep.
And so unless you expand your market, right, expand your reach, and also expand your resource pool, you know, like
Sure.
your access to resources, right? And so I guess what I'm pointing at is that very contradiction of the capitalists needing to pay the worker as little as possible
Mm-hmm.
because they're in competition with the other capitalists. Like
Sure.
they're all trying to make sure they can reinvest enough money quickly enough to stay ahead of the changing technology,
Sure.
and also to be able to buy their raw resources at low enough prices, the inputs, so that it's worth it, right?
Yep.
And ideally, you want to let control the chain of production. But if you can't do that, you at least want really good deals. And in order to do that, you need wholesale pricing. So there's all these pressures that objectively compel the capitalists to pay the worker as little as possible. It's not just like subjective greed, right? They're in competition with other people, and that's what's driving it.
Mm-hmm.
And so you've got this downward pressure on wages that is natural. But again, you need your workers to be able to buy shit.
Yep.
And maybe you're not the one making the shit that they need to buy, but nevertheless, right?
Sure.
And because you're sucking as much surplus labor out of people as possible, you are by default leaving them with as little extra as possible.
Sure.
And so the only way to offset that then is to get mad cheap inputs from somewhere the fuck else. And so that's kind of the game that America has been playing, right? Is like our relative comfort, or like relative like first worldiness or whatever, right? It's like it's because they've been largely offsetting the those contradictions by continually expanding outward. And so that's like that was one of the things that Marx identified as like a law of motion and development of capitalism, is its tendency to, you know, like uh, turn inward on itself and so need to turn outward on itself. You know,
Sure.
it's like that
Capitalism is flexible. I give it
dialectical
that.
inversion.
That's the good thing about capitalism. It's very flexible, but like I said, it's all about being regulated. Like I said, if you put a maximum wage, like I said, if you can only make, you should only make $50 million a year. Like honestly, if you make $50 million every single year, I don't know how the fuck you have a problem. Like you're short of money,
Yeah.
or like, because I'm just saying, like we have a minimum wage, and we all see like that's kind of an all right idea to an extent, but it's like, so we have this. It's kind of like the whole you're running for president, you should probably be under 70. Like we understand that 35 and under, or 34 and under is too young. We should also understand there's a other end too, the high end. Like you shouldn't be too old. Same with, we have a minimum wage, there probably should be a maximum wage to counterbalance both sides. You know what I'm saying? Because again, it's like I said,
Yeah.
it's unchecked capitalism. Like capitalism's cool, but like if you're gonna allow somebody like Elon to make $400 billion in a year, that's not right. Like, and you can't tax them because it's unrealized gains too. Like, like it's fucked. That's the issue.
Yeah, and the problem, right, is that people want the state to be the mediator between like worker here and
Mm-hmm.
capitalist here,
Sure.
you know.
Yep.
But what ends up happening is that it's
They work
like
together.
worker here, state here, capital here,
Sure.
right? And
Yep.
so capital controls the state and presses downward upon the workers using the state, right? And so it's not a mediator in the way, it's like the mediation thing is a myth
Yeah.
in a
It's
sense, right?
inherently
It's like,
exploitative.
Yeah. It's
It's
exploitative.
yeah, it's
inherently
fucking weird.
exploitative.
Because you do see
And
people getting
so,
caught,
so
but
that's the
again, they probably
reason
just
we
didn't pay
can't
people enough.
regulate. when we talk about regulating them, right? Regulatory bodies are state bodies,
Yep.
right? And so we're talking about needing to get the thing that they're over top of out from underneath them and then put it over top of them, you know, controlled by us, you know. If we could do that, well, it would hardly be capitalism anymore, you know.
I mean, it would be to an extent. Just like I said, just about getting checks, and like you can have capitalism and still have a strong like social democratic fucking welfare system. Like the fucking Norways and so like that's the thing. Capitalism is very flexible. You can do all this stuff inside a capitalistic system, but again, you need to have checks and balances on that system and the people running the system. Like you were talking about with the state, you in almost anything in life, you want a third party mediator because there also is going to become a he said she said argument. With courts, like it's like I talk to people like about the immigration shit, like you want the courts to be there to be the middleman between the government saying this person's illegal or whatever the fuck, and have them staying or them going. You want a third party. That's what the courts literally are supposed to be, to make sure that the state says that you're guilty of this. Well, I'm going to verify to make sure that they didn't fucking plant evidence on you or do whatever. Like it's the same thing with capitalism. Like we need to have a better regulatory system to fucking keep things in check and make sure it's just not running rugged. Where, like I said, we have.
I don't think it can happen, man. I think like when your country is based, at least not in this country, where it's already so foundationally established that capitalism is the name of the game. When we talk about terms like regulated capitalism and unregulated capitalism, I just don't know how it can become regulated. Like for a few reasons, I've done a little bit of theory on this, but I mean, the main ones are just that it's getting out of control and the laws can't keep up, and then the government moves at a snail's pace while capitalistic innovation accelerates increasingly.
Yeah, that's part of it.
Maybe exponentially.
Well, yeah, the government's a really slow system. It's bureaucratic.
Yeah, and also people are just giving up. There's the existential crisis is happening to people. Like the meaning crisis affects both parties, but the way it's affecting the right or the conservative party seems to be in the direction of they'll reach burnout and they'll self-destruct, but they're still going to keep doing and going hard for 80 hours a week, whereas the learned helplessness is what we're seeing in the left. But we'll still go out for protests. Like you see massive protest turnout, so people still feel some type of way. But we're like obsessed with identity as fuck right now. We're obsessed with tribalism and just
that is the issue.
Virtue signaling to our tribes.
That is true. It is tribal as fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
it's just so.
We're supposed to be a melting pot. We're not supposed to be tribal. Like, I get keeping your cultures and stuff. Like, that's totally fine. But like, the whole idea of America is we're the melting pot. We're supposed to be able to take anybody and everybody in, and they can fit here. Like that's the whole idea of us.
Yep. I mean, that's really the dream and the idea of like resisting tyranny, resisting dictatorship and authoritarian regimes and top-down control, and wanting to be able to have cooperation. Like we all know it's very wrong to take a land from another people's. And we're just seeing a very strong, salient example of it, where it's very recent in this country. I've been wondering if this is true for a while. It just because every country's done it before. Like everybody steals nations from other nations.
That is the norm of humanity. But like I always say, like with the fucking with NATO and shit, like we're supposed to be better than that. We're supposed to get out of that world, but we're going back into it. Why I don't know.
What is it? The U.S. has been at war for like 240 of its 250 years or something like that.
I mean, yeah. Well, what I mean by this is not that I'm not trying to say this is okay. It's just this is an example that's very raw and very salient and recent. You know what I mean? And because of that, it's just everybody's feelings are maximally examined because of the internet, and because it's also just recent. Like people could have these feelings about Mao or Genghis Khan or whatever, but it's like it just happened to happen in this time, and we're reinforcing during this time. And also, there's like the fourth turning theory from what's this economist? I always forget his name. Anyways, it's like capitalist nations go through these 4 stages before they collapse, and we're in the 4th stage before it collapses. It either becomes a retired empire model, or it becomes, well, it gets taken over, or it actually like collapses. Yeah, Ray Dalio.
Huh?
Yeah, fourth turning model. That's an interesting theory. He's also a big time predictor. Ray Dalio has predicted a lot of like big changes in global markets, global economic market.
I've been predicting a war on China since before it was cool.
Ooh, I don't know. I don't know if we're gonna go to war
Fuck.
with China like that. I think, like I said, I think that China's gonna rule the Asia, and we're gonna let Russia own Europe. We're gonna own the West, and then Israel owns Africa. I think that's the long term future that we're trying to build right now. If we don't end it, or like try to stop the colonialism coming back.
I gotta think about this more.
Yeah, it's like the U.S. is preparing to retreat from global hegemon to regional, and
Sure,
is
that's
like
yeah.
sort of ceding ground to other
Mm-hmm.
regional hegemons.
Sure.
Like
Yeah,
that.
that's what I'm saying. They're. I think Trump and like the MAGA movement in general is fine with letting Russia control all of Europe. They don't give a fuck. And like I said, I'm
It's
pretty
almost
sure.
like a thermodynamic movement. You know what I mean?
Like I said, and I'm pretty sure that most of MAGA don't want to fucking help Taiwan out, so they'll be fine if Taiwan and Australia get taken over by China, right? Like they don't give a fuck. It's not about. It's not us. So I'm saying like we're leading it to a 5-nation world, basically. Whatever the fuck call it. 5 superpowers. Basically, one for
Where does
every.
all this
Yeah,
lead?
there's Sam. What is his name? Sam Huntington. He just got the Clash of Civilizations thing, right?
Okay.
And that's kind of more or less what his argument is. But basically, he's like, yeah, I guess he's a little bit more metaphysical with it. But he's
Okay.
like, certain civilizations are not compatible with each other, and therefore they're bound to clash, and
Sure.
yada yada. And this is he's like a liberal, one of those like atheist imperialist guys, you know, who's
Okay.
like Western reason is superior to Islamic fundamentalism, and therefore we should bomb them. Right. That's kind of where I locate Sam Huntington.
Okay.
But I see him as the sort of liberal side, the other side of the coin to like Alexander Dugin. He's also a civilizational thinker, right? And he also has a clash model. And he thinks that other civilizations need to fucking put the West in its place, you know. And so by contrast to these two like sides of the coin, um, China is offering they've got a thing called the Global Civilization Initiative, and they're like calling for mutual learning across civilizations, and so they're basically addressing Sam Huntington and Dugan and similar thinkers, you know, on the left and the right, and going like, guys, like, can't we just belt and road the whole fucking planet, you
Mm-hmm.
know? And everyone's like, no, we're not doing that.
Yeah,
That's kind of
exactly.
my
It's a
my take
fucking
on it.
joke. These people are fucking just,
Yeah.
they're fucking retards, stunted developmentally. It's like what is what is the curvature that produces this shit? Because it's like an immediate starting mode fucking mindset that just gets accelerated to infinity because they have like confidence and go get them. You know what I mean? It's like, what the
Sometimes
fuck
that's all
is
you need.
this? What the fuck is this entire like?
The
It's like
driven narrative, meaning they
It's like the consciousness analog to the metabolic rift, right?
all we're
It's
doing.
like your thinking is fucking metabolic rifty, you know?
Like we're trying to expand people's circle of compassion, right? Like we're trying to get to a place which is basically very logical in a sense of like, yeah, it's kind of obvious. Like, I mean, like in terms of like intersubjectivity and like sort of like how we, you know, like contribute to like a picture, that's got a multiplicity to it, like a pluralistic conception of things, like where we're trying to get on the same fucking page. It's fucking very obvious, like cooperative and all that shit. Like by definition, like so like all this stuff we're talking about is just laying out the rigid aspect or the like there would be a better fucking term for this, but like sort of like the curvature, like the fault lines and all that stuff of like different conceptions of like the world in the future and arguments against the way things have been in the past, right? Like so we're containing narrative progression in a sense and like producing something to attract toward, right? Like an attractor space kind of deal. I don't know. An ideal image.
What is it that Bill is into? Emergence and computation, right? It's like what we are after is an emergent world, like something that can emerge from this one that supersedes it in a positive way, right? That is more connective and more humane and more like ecologically sane.
I phrased it we're trying to move out of survival mode to creative mode, right? Kind of deal.
Mm-hmm.
Like like nervous system regulation is stability in the field, like in your progressions across the field kind of deal, like we're all I think we're very confused about the mind and psychology and the way that it is basically ecologically constructed or assembled. I think that's a way to phrase it. And
Speaking of nervous system regulation.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I like the word symbiography for like
oh yeah, thanks for reminding me of that.
Symbolic sort of, or like our biography in terms of like how it relates to symbols and signs and shit, and as far as like its relation to a more objective structure or a meta-narrative structure, which would be a substructure in a larger structure. I like that. Dude, why is narrative and structure so productive for like a duality of a larger structure?
What do you mean?
It's like we're like we could potentially be like, well, I mean in terms of like cognitive structure, we're like one strip on the Death Star in a sense, right? And we don't know that the other parts of the Death Star exist, kind of deal in terms of possible development. I don't know. I think there's something.
Yeah.
So Foucault had the notion. So he fought against Hegel and thinking that there was a fixed historical progression. And I don't know if I don't know which one is right. You know what I mean? But it might be a cognitive one, or maybe an abstract, or just a way of framing reality that is passed on, like a mutation maybe, and maybe there's other mutations that could have been formed that we missed. That, I don't know. It's almost like going back to a certain point in biological development and changing something, like, but it's in relation to like phenomenal presentation.
I have a good narrative and structure quote for you.
Okay.
I bust this one out in Polymath Park like probably once a month. Men make their own history, but they do not make it as they please. They do not make it under self-selected circumstances, but under circumstances existing already, given and transmitted from the past. The tradition of all dead generations weighs like a nightmare on the brains of the living. And just as they seem to be occupied with revolutionizing themselves and things, creating something that did not exist before, precisely in such epochs of revolutionary crisis, they anxiously conjure up the spirits of the past to their service, borrowing from them names, battle slogans, and costumes, in order to present this new scene in world history in time-honored disguise and borrowed language.
Goddamn. I gotta fucking get that. You gotta paste that in the chat for sure if you got it, dude.
Yeah.
That was baller as fuck.
That also
That is
sounds like very Verbachian.
I love the notion of a rhizome, and like you look at that language, and it's like all that not pre-analyzed, just used. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, dude, good shit. I feel like a lot of Western philosophy focuses way too much on the deep structure and doesn't focus on intuition and instinct. Instinct. I think instinct is a yes, and drives as far as unconscious drives, like in emotion and feel as far as the direction of our compass.
You know, I do like Instinct, but I like Justin Timberlake's solo stuff just as much.
JT,
I don't
baby.
even know shit about Justin Timberlake.
Hilarious.
Yes, you do. If I played your song, you would know it.
No, I would know his voice, but I don't know that much about him. I don't know his symbiography.
Oh, he was a Mickey Mouse Clubhouse guy. He probably was diddled as a kid.
So like a symbiography would almost have like vectors attached to it, you know what I mean? Like feeding into your arc through a sort of potentially plottable semiotic space. Hello, Plato. Wait, I know I don't. Wait, are you streaming or recording, Patrick?
No, this is
Okay. Christy.
Hello.
Hi.
What's
I'm
happening?
slightly inebriated.
Publicly
Just slightly.
Mary Jane.
playing with magnets.
Dude, I'm out inebriated.
Out inebriated, dude. Bruh. That's what I want.
If it's inebriated, could you be like a C inebriated?
Bottle that shit. Anti-hall.
Yes, how do we understand meaning, and
Sure.
why are people driven by
What's-
narrative? All right. What do we do about it?
Where does the word alcohol come from?
I don't know, honestly.
Do you guys remember the Double Rainbow guy from like 10 or 15 years ago?
Yeah, I remember
15
that. Yeah,
probably.
I remember that video.
What does it mean?
Can't help but
Dude, I love this period of fucking history. It is just,
That's like 2007.
other than
Yeah.
You know, it's like
the garbage
It's over.
situation.
the golden age of the internet.
The Charlie Mountain. Or Candy Mountain,
Yeah,
Charlie.
And
yeah.
Have any of you guys ever heard of Agrippa's trilemma?
Whoops.
No.
I have
Yeah.
heard of that, but I don't remember
I just
what it
found
is
out
at
about
all.
Agrippa's trilemma.
So basically, no matter what you think, you're basically going to come down to three flaws in your thinking. It's going to be either infinite regress, circular reasoning, or dogmatism. No matter what argument, whatever you say, it'll always trickle down to those three things. And basically, you can never prove anything like
Oh, this
philosophically
goes
true.
down to Goodle's shit, right? I would think. Oh, this old man had such a
Yeah.
fucking interesting way of looking at this shit in this
It's
video.
not like the
I don't know. I just found
I
it
think
He's like-
I kind of agree with that. Especially if you're like, I think it's good as like a criticism of the limitations of reason as a
Yep.
as a means of grasping
without
or
any actual like scientific
determining
backing
the
or
truth.
proof, like actually prove what you're saying is true. Yeah, because it says what it say.
It's missing both
It's-
like practice and like other people's practice, right? Because that's like one of the verification layers, right?
You know,
And so to me, it's like true social practice is the criterion of truth, is like the most succinct way I found to say it.
I feel like contradictions or like paradoxes are almost like a anti-process, like a consequence of an anti-process lens, sort of. You know what I mean? I don't know.
so just doing a little bit. It says even
Maybe.
it says even in the fields of logic and
That's my gut.
mathematics, you will always have to appeal to some accepted assumptions. That's where you're always going to come back to dogmatism or circular reasoning or the infinite regress problem. Like everything you
that's
ever,
what the Dallas function.
huh?
Well, yeah, if you
That's
proceed
what's
from
called in the
rationalist
Dallas.
axioms, yeah, dude, like rationalism, like in a void or whatever. I don't know, like just doesn't. I think you have to be, if you're going to take a rationalist position, you have to enable a pluralist perspective first. Like, you can't reduce it to like a foundation. It has to build out from, like, it has to like mutually resonate in the field in some way. I don't know. There's some weird resonance because it's like you have to take every element as a whole kind of deal. I don't know. I don't know how to make that more formal.
You got to define the field, define your terms.
Yeah, like, I mean, because there's obviously diverse fields, and like you could say channels within every field, or maybe every channel constitutes a field if it crosses nodes which don't necessarily intersect, or like, I don't know. You gotta look at so much shit. Because we're trying to like basically reverse engineer whatever exists in our brains before we were thrown into the field and before history started. I feel like if we were going to take like a super continental psychoanalytic route, we have to go. We have to figure out how pluralistic or like a multiplicity of assemblages of which would basically constitute semiotic regions or regimes between the different afforded modes and their it's just like their hierarchies, like systems of co-references or whatever form, like what version of like mind monkey do you get, like, and I don't know how to say it. They're like,
Well, that really starts even before you're born, when you're still in your mom's,
Well, yeah, your
growing in your mom.
right, so it's all environmental and then like meaning based or semiotic, as I like to phrase it.
Yeah.
So it's like, we're interpreting the
And
world,
then
and
also
we are
where
being
that
constructed at the same time.
interaction takes place, like where that interaction takes place, where your hormones are at the time, and how that intersects with your perception on what's happening as well.
Yeah, a lot of shit. Like I like to use vectors for a lot of this shit, but it's hard to really make the case because for me it's like information is always in motion.
Yeah.
And then that includes us, right?
Figure out why my cats always wait until I'm comfy in bed before they start fighting.
Wake you up.
Yep.
Come hang out with us.
Well, information is emotional. Information can carry emotional reactions from creatures that experience emotion. We talked about information as broken down into the etymology of that which is in formation.
Yep.
Which is,
I love that.
Cool. Yeah, it's an interesting thing to think about. And knowledge is the containment and occupation of that which is information. That information is occupied and held in a container of some kind that can do something with it. And there's data and data points, but I mean, there's a lot of theory on this, a lot of quantum consciousness fans talking about this, and philosophers, just how to think about.
Yeah, I like quantum consciousness stuff.
Like where all this comes together and what are the limits of our perceptual capacities. I
mean, there's projection forward in terms of our like relationship, like as far as being a body in an information, like a body of motion and like meaning or whatever the fuck, like we're projecting forward and then we are also like taking in from backwards. So there's like a source and then there's the projection. I don't remember I was gonna bring that, but
I was just thinking about how like a data point or like a data packet is also a wave, but then I was like, well, what's a good example of that? And I was like, torrenting.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there's a really cool image I should pull up.
See, I feel like we're all going toward the same definition or destination. We're trying to continually define that destination. I think that is meaning based. That also lines up with Pierce's notion that interpretation, like what the meaning of a sign is, or objectivity is something we arrive at through repeated interpretation and like use of signs, right? So we continually co-interpret and then we come upon a meaning, right? A mean uh notion of things across people. I think that, I don't know. I think that is kind of a center of humanity kind of thing. Like, what is this? What is central to human experience, right? Like that whatever that is inside of us. Whatever is the most mean concept, and that is what people I think have historically referred to as God, as a like internal thing, right? But it's very fucking simple. Like it's like a I don't know. We make so much, dude. All this shit we make into like a fucking individual game, and it's just not a fucking individual game.
Participatory. Identity and meaning, fulfillment, purpose, satisfaction, joy, all of these are...
Yeah, the whole like binary opposition ego thing, like greater than, lesser than, is just exactly where we get retarded. Like multiplicity is the better picture, just flat out. There's only difference, not greater or lesser. Like, fuck's sake. It's like it emanates based on your material conditions. Like, but we always get better. We always get smarter and more mature, less sensitive to certain things, and more productive in others.
I hope you're right.
Is anybody else fucking with like LLMs on your terminal?
What terminal?
Like on your hard drive?
Oh, no, I haven't fucked with that. Like downloading it, installing it.
Well, there's both, right? It's like so I'm
I
using
built
like
that.
the Quinn CLI, which is its own model. But it attaches, you like run it in your command prompt. And basically it's got whatever limited like model weights in it, but it allows you to search your own directory and like confine the LLM to a certain section of your directory and like have it ingest different stuff. And then so like you can get it to write Python code and then run it. Like so whatever you can like whatever models and libraries your computer can hold, you can kind of get it to do whatever, like yeah, I don't know. It's I guess Tom is big into actual coding and what I'm doing is fucking vibe coding. But now that it's plugged into the terminal, it's so cool. It's like I'm just like I'm doing all kinds of weird shit with it. I guess
I
the
gotta check
main
this
thing I'm
out.
doing is like I got 751 pages of this guy's medical records from prison from his mom, and she was gonna run every page through an AI, and I was like, we don't want to give him all of the data. Like, so I was like, I'm gonna try to build a local thingamajig to like process these PDFs and put it into a like queryable database so that we can
What happened? Is that me? No. That shit froze. I don't know why my internet here sucks. Whatever. be better.
Sorry, I kind of dropped out.
Me too.
We all did it. Yep, we all did.
That's
God
what I'm
damn.
saying.
God dang.
Fucking Discord. Just kidding.
Yep. Connection was lost.
I'm glad it wasn't just me, because like I said, I was like, okay, everyone's gone.
Wonder what causes that.
We were cut off from the semiotic region of Discord.
Dissolved, right?
I don't know if that phrasing is good, because I feel like it just makes so much sense to me, you know, and I don't want to be fucking like throwing it out there like it's actually making a difference in the framing. You know, it's a framing on framing. It's interpretation on interpretation. Everything is just interpretation.
I don't know if that's true, but yeah.
Well, I mean, right? See, like that's your interpretation. You're interpreting that. Well, I mean, no, I'm not saying it's just an interpretation. I'm saying interpretation sort of evolves in a like transjective structure, like a progressive transjective structure, which also has like a relative element, like possible positions in a very universal possibility space or whatever, something like that. Some of that shit. Who dat? Oh, that someone came in here from the dead. Plato came back from the dead.
Yeah, I don't know what
It
happened.
happened to all of us.
No.
You were the
Oh,
only
okay,
one.
okay.
Yeah, all of a sudden, one by one, we're all like, "Oh, we're here."
I was
you're
like,
back.
so I went to my apps and I was like, maybe it just needs to be updated because I'm terrible at updating my apps.
Hmm.
So I did that real quick.
I'm guessing something with the Discord server.
And I'll look at it again in 4 months
Mhm.
when it starts glitching because I haven't updated it in forever.
Hopefully it's not related to the war.
Very fascinating world. It's like every subject is like a random polygon in space time, sort of through multi-dimensional polygon kind of prism thing. Which also
Kind of like little thought experiments. The
We're
anticipation
weird.
of the dopamine of the reception of the receiving of someone else's perception.
I'm looking at the other aspect of like the pure information
The
phenomenon.
ooh-ah.
Yeah, just like the picture, the information in motion that corresponds to the objective field or whatever. The field of affordances. Well, it's like, yeah, as Patrick mentions, like, with relevance realization with John Vervaeke, like, we are basically like our what's in consciousness is being like selected, right? In a way, I think as like intelligence or like the intellect increases, as our systems for interpreting become more simple or more efficient,
narrow down.
The grand picture that we get, kind of gets, bigger informationally, right?
Because of the neural pruning, like your brain's always doing the pruning thing. That's one theory, at least, to explain neuroplasticity and learning, and like a condensing model of learning. Your brain's kind of like settling into things, but I don't think that's totally right, because you can just keep learning new skills throughout the rest of your life. That seems within reason. You can learn new skills. Not
adding order to chaos. Is that kind of what we're doing? Is that what neg entropy and meaning making comes down to? Is adding order to chaos?
I think that's really vague. When people start talking in terms of order and chaos, it kind of like.
Well, there's like a woo vibe to it, but I mean in terms of like the information we receive and like the order we wish to like impose on it or whatever, and ourselves, and yeah.
Yeah, I mean we're always going to be trying to find that balance to some degree.
Do our best.
Well, I don't know. I don't know how chaotic sense data actually is. You know what I mean? Like it's coming to us because of reasons. You know.
Well, yeah.
No, I mean more in terms of like overtime and shit.
Well, yeah, and then our neurons are going to purposely serve us in areas in which are pertinent, like based on our circumstances as well. So, like after pregnancy and stuff like that, women will have more neural. I'm sorry. Oh my God, why am I thinking? I just literally just said the word prior. Holy shit.
Neurological.
Well, I mean,
Neurons,
like
yeah.
contradictions that
To
we
be able to
inherit or
something with their
embody.
children. So, Robert Sapolsky talked about this with creating new neurons so that they can recognize their children and bond with their children. It's like a whole new set of. So, like, I'm sure there's other there's other phases in life. I'm sure that happens with as well.
Yeah, and like we talk about it, like your brain stops growing after or stops developing after 25 or whatever. That's not accurate either. You just lose certain capacities at certain,
Yeah.
or you don't like they become lessened, significantly lessened at different stages. Like your ability to learn new languages and speak in fluency and speak without an accent. That stops at around, I think, 8 or 9 or so. If I'm not mistaken. It's like, or it's just before prepubescence. If I'm not mistaken. And
Well,
that kind of makes sense if you think about like the jaw forming, the mouth, the tongue, and language, and language like deeper processing of reading and comprehension of
muscle memory and everything. Yeah.
Language is literally it's like real life evolution. You can literally watch it how it changed from being Latin to Greek. All these, a little tribe moves to this part of the world and they add their little dialect to the old one, and now it becomes a new slang and like that is literally like just watching evolution happen in like real time.
Yeah, it's pretty fascinating.
It is.
And I mean, you can learn new subjects. It's just having major ideological shifts that becomes really tough, like having perspectival change.
Because then, like I said, the big thing it's one thing like having to like relearn things. That's whatever. But like the big thing is, it's the tribe. Like everybody that I knew, that knew how I thought and felt. They all try to talk shit about me or whatever. Like, oh, you're a lib cuck now. It's like, yeah, because I changed. I'm not supposed to be the same way I was 10 years ago. Like I said, going back to you're not supposed to be the same. With more and better information, you should be willing to change your opinions. It shouldn't be that dogmatic of a view or whatever. Like that's how people are, though.
People use identity as like a shield, man. It's fucking crazy, and they like stop at a low phase of development. Like, you're relating with
Sometimes that's the only
experiences.
capacity that these people have.
I agree. I
Sometimes
absolutely agree. I
that's
know.
the
Like, I don't want to
it's the
blame them. I
unfortunate
don't
truth.
want to fucking blame them, dude. Like, I feel like I fucking woke up to like what this game was at like a certain age, and I was like, no, dude, fuck this shit. Like, it's like everybody wants to be stupid. I don't get, yeah.
But you see how
Is it even a
even
want to
that
be?
mindset can get you in a blocked
I
in
know.
space as well. You know what I
I
mean?
know. I've been down a
And so
lot of
it's
these
easy to
pathways.
see when you start thinking like that how they can get stuck in their
So,
thought processes too. They just
yep. It's all signs and like where it like directs you, right? And you don't want to be directed like in any way like away from people or like not like receiving them. Like, I don't know.
But also,
Like, you just gotta
also sometimes I think people
exposed,
gotta get better. Like in general,
be vulnerable,
you also have to learn to
open
leave the
air.
trash behind. Like if you know this person or thing is bringing you down all the time, or whatever, like we have to get better at fucking ditching like toxic bad things for us. Like
not people pleasing.
yeah, or it could
Yeah.
be people pleasing. It could be a lot of things. It could be like work pleasing. Like I want to make my boss happy or whatever the fuck. So you just go out of your way all the time and you never get the recognition or anything. Like.
A lot of the times, though, it starts in the childhood home. If you're a people pleaser, it starts in the childhood home, typically.
Sure.
Yep. Walking on eggshells, fucking like tantrums from parents, dude.
What's really
like,
been fascinating to me,
me?
I've tried to figure it out. I still haven't been able to. Ever since having a traumatic experience, it's like a regression in behavior that I can tell in myself, and it's just it's such a hard wall to break. Even being aware of it.
I think you may be like just healing. I don't know.
I don't know.
It's
2.5
like
years in, and I'm still in
it's
the
like
point where I can't even retain information is kind of wild.
retain information. What do you mean?
Just like new tasks and stuff like that. I
Oh,
can't even. My memory is just it's shot.
what's
Short-term
your
recall is terrible,
daily
and I'm not
pattern
even
like?
smoking weed anymore. And it's just
Are you defaulting to like the same like space, sort of?
only thing I can think of is environment-wise. I'm back at my parents' house, which is extremely triggering. So
It's almost like a return to like a fucking old curvature kind of deal, right? Like,
yeah, definitely noticing emotion. My emotional realm is very much stuck in that angry teenager phase being here. I catch
yeah,
myself
because
once
your
in a
parents
while.
also though. It's also it's
Yep.
partially your parents. Yep, because they're
my
not
dad
like
lived in rules.
they're not like, all right, man, like
Well, it's
we
because
on
it's
the
kind of
same
like in the
level or
beginning, I had to set them boundaries because, it's
what
like I moved back in. It was almost like,
yeah, think about like you're
like
smarter than
my
your
dad,
parents probably. You're more
saying he's going to
mature.
take my phone. Like, no, you're not. I pay for my phone. What are you?
That's what I'm saying.
Wait,
I'm a
you're in your
fucking
30s?
30-year-old woman. What are you talking about?
Yeah. Suck a dick, motherfucker.
What
What are
the
you
fuck?
saying? Are you retarded? Are you stuck in like 20
Well, they want to
fucking
be your parents
10 or
still.
some
That
shit?
was 2 years
Like,
ago when I first moved back, though.
I
But
feel like
yeah.
dude, that's the thing is like you gotta set those fucking boundaries, and it's like
Yeah.
hard because you've exceeded their experiences of like, or more like how you should feel from a more mature you perspective than
It's just
like
tough
they've ever
going from
taken.
being able to have, and I'm
Yeah.
putting in quotations, you can't see it, but control over your environment versus
Yep.
not having that
Yep.
much control,
Dude. People piss me off because they just don't think beyond their like immediate actions and reactions. They're like, if this seems right, nobody would talk shit about this, kind of deal. Like, fuck off, you fucking faggot. I'm sorry.
Hey, you can't say
I
that.
know. I know.
That's not cool.
I wonder if
There's like
that.
a,
I
Just to
wonder
be
if that's why
harsh, I'm
parenting is also
sorry.
so hard, is because
It's
it
not good.
triggers parts of you from your childhood that
It's a word to use because I know he would hate it. That's the whole deal.
It's because you grew up in the 90s. That's all it is.
And that too. No, I would never use that sincerely. Only like literally
I get what
never.
you're saying. I know.
Like, kidding me? Fucking people are incredible.
I don't know how to do
Gay
identity.
people are incredible. I don't know.
Yeah.
I only feel weird because Evie's fucking non-binary. I feel
what?
guilty.
Yeah, sure.
But he's not. I don't know if
I
he's
sure am.
the other thing.
I'm
Yeah, I'm
cool.
just saying.
I'm cool.
Super dope.
I don't give a fuck. I always
I don't
say,
understand how
be
that works.
you,
I gotta
don't
fucking
disrespect
understand
people.
it.
It's really, life is not that hard. Like, you could do
Exactly.
what you want to
Well,
fucking
it's
do.
like it's almost like defaulting to a center kind of deal, or like a median. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's one possible sign. Set of signs. Interpretation. You're just an interpretation. Patrick, you're just an interpretation by the universe.
Let's hope so.
He's an interpretation of me, too. I'm part of the universe.
Yeah.
If you think about it, like, again, like the way I know Patrick is not the way he knows himself, or like
Look at how much like
his roommate or whoever, like different
like
versions.
organic materials. Organic materials basically just like move themselves through the environment through us. You know what I mean? It's like
You never know just how you look.
we're just like gravitational bodies or whatever for these fucking like biochemicals. That's what we serve as.
What is that song? It's a Smashing Pumpkins. It says you never know just how you look through other people's eyes.
Maybe. I mean,
Oh no, that's the Butthole Surfers.
Okay, good. Wonderful to learn. Okay, well, this is a beautiful song. But,
Yeah. cinnamon and sugary and softly spoken lies. You never know just how you look through other people's eyes.
Yeah, I thought about that line, like softly spoken lies. You never notice how
Pepper.
you look through other people's eyes.
That's
Yeah.
good shit.
I mean, I guess it's like it's just the same thing as objectivity, right? Like, can't I mean, and no interpretation is really fully objective, right? So it's like, who's actually right? You know,
Unless it's like a
depends
mathematical
on
equation, that's the only way you can probably get to the closest being. Like,
depends. It's like
Logical
it's like
formalism.
completion ratios between different structures, right?
hmm
It's like you can approach objectivity, complete
Have you
objectivity,
guys
but
seen
never like
any on? I was
get there.
seeing on before I deleted it again. Instagram. There's a girl on there who she was doing a structure for pretty much the core ideology of autism. Apparently, her work's been getting stolen.
Like a schema thing, or like a
I
way
wish I could
schemas
remember
develop.
what her name was, but she's from Wisconsin, and she's like discovered like the core causality of like autism or something like that.
No way. I don't believe
But
it.
her work's been getting stolen, and she's been
It's just a
The thing
it's
is, my
biographical
thing is,
sort of
when
You
she,
have a
no, the thing is, when
this
she,
is
when,
very
no,
recent.
I get
I
that, but
can't
when she
remember
be,
what
when she be
where
able to
out of
repeat,
Wisconsin
when
she's
she be able
from.
to repeat her fucking findings though, like if I found something out like that, like, and I wrote it down, even if, like, I've done the experiment, I should know, like, what, like,
Government's out to get you, I think.
but that's the thing about
Did that happen?
what
good science is recreatable. It's all, anybody in the fucking world can do this experiment and it'll work exactly the same for every motherfucking person. Don't matter
right.
who you
That's the thing with like autism as culture is always socioculturally defined. Therefore, it can't be replicated across cultures. That kind of ends. That's end of story for me when it comes to autism being a real thing, or at least being something that can be
are. I just think it's too
defined
broad.
reasonably.
It's too broad of a
I
term.
feel like
Hers is
Too broad. Exactly. It's too broad.
apparently she had studies backing it and everything, so I don't know.
But yeah, definitely send me links if you find out who that is, because that's cool. An interesting story if her research is getting stolen.
Probably Google it.
wait, you said it can't be replicated across cultures. Replicated.
Because you can't go to a hunter-gatherer tribe and do tests for autism in hunter-gatherer tribes.
Yeah, but
I
a
mean,
hunter-gatherer
there's
tribe isn't
theory,
going to test for any type of mental
As like a
illness.
And that's
psychometric
why
thing,
I
or
mean that's why autism's going up in the first place, is just because we're testing for it more. That's always my main argument.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
everyone's
one
like,
of the
it's going
arguments.
through the roof. It's
well,
like,
it's
well, they never tested for
we
it.
also
Like,
can't really define it. We can't define it like
that's my
outside of the
part of it.
measurement. You know what I mean?
True.
Like,
Oh yeah. Well, again, it's just broad.
It's
Like
an umbrella
if you're
term of
socially
other
awkward, if you're
umbrella
socially
term.
awkward, you have autism. If you have this disease, or if you have these feelings and thoughts, you have, like, it's just, that's always my problem. It's just too broad.
it's like just yeah.
It's
I
an
think there's
umbrella term.
I don't know. There's a lot of things for I don't know. Different. I don't know. Like I talk about symbols and fragmentation and like all that shit. Like that's sensitivity, right? That's like the core feature of autism, right? Sort of deal.
Can be, but that's the
Stumble
thing.
across the
It
board,
could be
but
like you're mentally challenged, like completely, except for like one topic. It could be, like I said, you're socially awkward. It could be you have this kind of learning disability. You have like it's so many things.
Yeah, here's my issue with it. It's just, even if it is real, it's not good to tell yourself that. It's not good
think
to
about this.
label yourself and to think of other people as autistic. It's too limiting.
True.
We don't have access to the exact developmental path or like the coordinates in which an autistic individual exists in like a generalized psycho space or whatever. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So it's like their perspective is somewhere, but like there's like a way to lead them. Like I don't know. I feel like there's a way to lead anybody along, and I think that this might be a
But it's like the whole
global
it's the
curvature.
horse with the water
But
pole. Like they have to want to go there. You can't
Yeah.
make them. Like that's always my issue too. Like
yeah,
I want everybody to get out of their fucking right wing.
That's why you got to make it
shit.
exciting.
But like
That's why you need philosophers in the schools who make it exciting and make it enticing for you to want to grow, for you to want to develop yourself and actually want to meditate as a kid.
We
Like
need to.
people are succeeding in this in philosophy for
Of course,
children.
it's all fucking
going on?
flooded with this stupid shit.
People are so
Tylenol.
obsessed with
We're doing it in
success.
the UK.
That's part of it.
And we're not
There's
doing
a lot of
anything.
things. People don't like, people either because they're tired and lazy or whatever, but they don't want to put the work in to fucking research and find things out. Like that's a big
Like
part of it too.
everybody has children early as fuck, and then they like get stuck in these patterns where
Not as much
their
anymore.
development
Not
is
anymore.
limited.
People are actually having.
Well,
kids.
I know, but like
But in general,
most
yes.
people our age, like, well, not most, but like a lot of them, had kids young and like they have like 4 fucking kids or whatever the fuck, and it's like, bro, did you even get a chance to breathe? I don't know.
I feel bad for all the people that have like kids that like 16 to 22 or whatever. It's like you didn't have a chance to go.
I guess
young dumb stage or whatever. Like you just.
Well, you've got
straight adult
teenagers at this point,
I
but
do
yeah,
now, yeah.
I mean, yeah.
But I didn't have my first kid.
Well, they're
till I was,
gonna stay young,
But
dumb
I'm
the rest
saying-
of their
I'm
lives
just
because they
saying,
don't
but
know how to
I didn't have kids- I
regulate.
didn't have
They've
kids till I
been
was, like,
have a
27,
screen in
8
front of
or
your
whatever.
face all the time.
So I mean, I waited a long time to have my kids. So like, I did it relatively smart.
Some people, like most people are, like a lot of people are generally good, in the right context. That's the whole thing.
Sure.
And right now, yeah. Well, I mean, you never fucking know with a lot of people. That's the whole thing. But you look at how people vote, and you think differently, and how people think on the general level. It's like, yeah, everybody's just clinging to these buzzwords and shit,
Of course.
like fucking, yeah, whatever's most salient.
That's what all politics has became now. That's the problem with it. It's just all but buzzwords. There's no actual like substance.
So we gotta get through the crevices and to the actual landscape, Like that's I think the right.
I mean, I think it's kind of
Okay.
been like that for the last century, since
What do you mean? What part? Like the politics?
yeah,
I feel like back in the day there was a
in the
lot more-
West for
I'm
sure.
saying, but I feel
It's
like
like-
back in the day there was a lot more compromising between the left and right. Like there wasn't such dogmatism where it's like you don't agree with me, you're straight evil. Like I mean, I would say that most, at least the modern MAGA movement's evil, but like I would say like Republican, like
Yeah, maybe not to the extreme that we're seeing today, but it definitely existed.
I mean, sure.
I feel like
but yeah,
America is like a cultural strain, right? It's like a.
Well, they're seeing the same things even in like Germany where there's multiple parties. They're seeing
Sure.
extremism in those parties as well.
genealogy.
Honestly, not to be mean, but it's
The
'cause
problem is
Trump
that
won.
what
That was
ends
it.
up happening is
That
the
was it.
elite rich end up buying out these politicians to push ideas
just blame
and certain
Trump.
identity politics that really
We didn't have this world before Trump.
Make us
Add
fucking
noise.
I'm
retarded.
just gonna remind people of this. Like
Yeah,
before 2016,
it was just
there was
noise.
no, like, the most extreme.
We're not
shit
getting
back
to
in
the
day, like, in
metaphysical
our kid
core.
Was like the Tea Party, and the Tea Party was like kind of extreme, but they weren't like the MAGA movement where it's fucking you're literally watching fascist movements and people are cheering it on. Like that's always my point. It's the whole we're arresting people.
They intentionally make us fucking retarded, and then we don't get to live full, meaningful lives, like in terms of our potential, because
we're fighting.
they just
ourselves.
want to. I'm pissed off about this shit because I feel like we're literally just stupefied relative to what we should be.
well,
Yeah,
I
we're
mean,
cheating of our
people who aren't represented as much have been living these lives for a while. I think it's just the rest of the
Yep.
population,
Yep.
or I should
That's
say
also
the
a
white
future
population is starting to realize how bad it actually is.
Yeah, and
Well,
we're pathologizing our privilege. We're pathologizing the downstream consequences of our privileges. In this country, especially, where we have vastly more expectations and assumptions, and the Conservative Party and Liberal Party we're all in handout culture. Like we're always with their hands out, and we're always in credit and debt situations. Like we're in all structures, we're encouraged to spend more than we save. And then you look at a hunter-gatherer living a wholesome life, and the children are super happy. They're playing with like the simplest toys, if it's even a toy. They just make something out of stones. And
It's more
sticks.
egalitarian. I mean,
Far more
they
egalitarian.
all
But
serve purposes.
they have they have their diseases and they have their
Yeah.
issues. So the medicine man will still take benefit from our donations when we go to give them donations, and when we give them rice, when we give them balloons to the kids in the Amazon. To do with the Jaku tribe. I think they.
Then we give them a soda and we get them addicted to sugar for the first time in their life.
Yeah, so there are lines that are drawn because like it makes the kids have fun, or lets the kids have fun, it makes them happy. to have balloons, but it leaves pollution in the plastic in the Amazon. But yeah, I mean, it's so hard to know. There's also a story. I've been watching a lot of documentaries on hunter-gatherer tribes for the last year and a while back. There's one that's like right on the cusp of converting, like making a major conversion, because there's a road going through their area that connects them to the main city and quote unquote civilization. And so
Their birth rates are also lower than civilization as well.
Of course, so they have no modern
well,
medicine.
they're like voting on whether or not, like the tribe is voting on whether or not to connect to that road system so they can have access to all these goods and trade services.
Oh.
If they do that, that's going to compromise, like that's a very, very rare tribe that's still in existence that's doing very rare things, like the way they hunt and the way they fish. I think it's one of the, like one or two or three that uses like poison fishing methods where they take literal bark off of the trees and they'll soak this poisonous bark in the water and like block off areas of the water to catch the fish. And the fish just get poisoned and rise to the surface, and they just cook it. But yeah, so like we're watching this happen in real time. Civilizations and tribes deciding whether or not to make these moves.
My only fear with that is that
Sorry.
wouldn't that would open up the land to those that want to take it.
Also, yeah, that's the other big
that's
issue.
where my concern lies. So they're going to force them into civilization at some point if they agree to that. I mean, even if they
Like
don't,
the majority
they'll
of them
probably
want
force
to do
them
it.
anyway.
Yeah, the majority of them wanted to do it, and they decided to go ahead and open up the road. And I mean, there's just so much benefit to having access to goods and services.
Yeah,
it's hard to refuse it. Like the road is literally right there, and everybody else is willing to pave it for you because they want you to be a customer or whatever. Anyways, yeah, I think we can do a lot to learn from these different tribes and really zoom out more and really just be more involved anthropologically speaking. We're not really teaching enough of that in school, I think.
Then they're going to come into contact with things as their life transitions into this more civilized. They're going to run into the Western diseases as well, which is
I mean, we have diseases and problems, but I would say that most people would rather live in this lifestyle than be a hunter-gatherer.
I mean,
kind of like the two extremes. There's
that's
also
how it's been
underdeveloped.
sold to us for sure, I would say. But I wouldn't say that we're any more happy than hunter-gatherers. I think hunter-gatherers.
I mean, I would argue only because, like, I bet you their bodies are sore every fucking day at a very young age.
Well, here's the thing, man.
Like the
Well, no, because they're used to it. Our bodies are sore because we live stagnant lifestyles.
Part of it.
We're sore, and we're also obese and getting diabetes like crazy.
True.
So get this though. So for Crohn's and colitis and irritable bowel diseases, you can get this is gross. So content warning, whatever. Fecal transplants, where they take the poop from the people that have the healthiest microbiomes in the world, hunter-gatherers, and they literally transplant it into your microbiome. And this is extremely successful for helping people go into remission from Crohn's and colitis or bowel disease. It's like extremely high success rate. It's literally replacing your microbiome. Like you'll get it's very simple.
The problem is that civilization, especially in the West here, we've really demonized the old medicine techniques and the old ways of living to the extent in which they've made us rely made us rely heavily on treatments.
Yeah,
lifelong treatments.
Sure.
Yeah.
While continuing to promote the lifestyles that brought you to the disease in the first place.
Yeah. Every patient cured is a customer lost.
Yeah.
Absolutely ridiculous phrase. It's
Fuck this shit. Want to live in a real world.
I think it's a fundamental like argument that we have to get through is that, like I said, I always say it's the individual versus collective. Like that's the big thing, because if you're an individualistic person, you don't want to help other people. You just want it all for you. You know, as long as I'm doing good, everyone else can fucking suck and die. But we have to get better. And like I said, it's a fine line. Like we need individualism because that's good. Like I like individual rights and all that shit too. But we also got to realize that we work in the collective and the societal and shit. Like we got to figure out that balance to get things right for.
That's really what's gonna send, I think, America into the hole. Is we're in such a isolated individualist state. It's so extreme with our individualism that there's just no compromise anymore.
America's, like,
that's really been pushed by Edward Bernays at the turn of the century. So it's how you sell products. It's how you have people forever consuming.
Well, yeah. I mean, if I get a
oh yeah, there's a quote. I have a quote saved from him. It's like literally talking about that. You control the entire.
If you get a customer at like 5 years old, you're gonna have a customer for life. Like if this kid loves Nike shoes at 5 years old, he's gonna love Nikes the rest of his fucking life, and he's gonna buy them and buy them. Like that's what those people are trying to prey on, like that kind of shit.
Not just that, also your insecurities. I mean, I'm sure all you guys, for the guys, I think right now they're pushing pills to help you guys last longer in bed, and for women it's pushing this weight loss drugs and
guys got weight loss,
everything in between, hair loss, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I feel like people want
to use every single angle to attack your yourself, view everything about you.
Fault or is it our fault? So like I feel like this is like the Matrix, where like
is it an assemblage?
No, I'm saying, but like in the Matrix, Neo is in the real world. He has no hair, no nothing, right? Or like, you know, he's bald and shit. But the first time he goes into the Matrix, he's like, I have hair, I have this and this. Like this is what you see yourself as. So I'm saying, like, is it necessarily like the government or whoever's fault, or is it individual problems that like we can't accept that I'm gonna go bald, or I can't accept like.
Well, there's a vast difference. I can tell you guys now that I'm back in the dating world. There's a vast difference between the guys that are in their 30s and the ones that are just a little bit over 25.
Sure,
a lot of the ones that are younger are really struggling with identity. I mean, really struggling.
Yeah, I can see that. Also,
I agree.
They grew up in the COVID year, which affected youth tremendously.
Well, that, and they have this warped perception of what they need to be in order to get a girl, and it's like they're so narrowed in on it that they actually don't even know what women want. But they're so convinced because of the internet.
Men talking shit. It's men talking shit to each other, basically.
I think it's.
Plus,
I think men are trapped in the
economic side.
1930s, where all I need to do is have a good job, and I can get a wife or whatever. Nowadays, women outmake men in money. Therefore, men have to do probably more work at home, or what, you know, like take some of the chores and shit that women used to do only because now women are more breadwinners. You know, like it's a different. Men have to compete differently, and I think that young men are still trying to hold on to, I just have to have a job and do this and I'll get the hottest chick in the world or whatever the fuck, you know, like.
Well, there's that aspect, but a lot of them think that you got to be like this built.
Sure. The Chads.
This built, sharp jawline, all this kind of stuff. Like they're so into.
Looks maxing. Have you heard of looks maxing?
Yeah, looks maxing. Yep.
That's
and even retard maxing.
Yeah,
they're saying
your face
you don't want to think about it. You just gotta go do it. Like, wow.
Sure. But it's funny.
Dude, that shit.
You know what's funny about that, though? Because these are the same people that talk shit about trans people. It's like, oh, okay. But you'll literally take a hammer to your fucking jaw and say that you're normal and fine, right? Like, fuck off.
Men don't understand feminine energy.
Well, and I mean, the people that it's really hurt, the people who are insecure to begin with. And then they get into this internet side of the world, which a lot of them fell victim to during COVID.
Yep.
And their whole perception of life is warped around the fact that not only that, but that feminism is the reason that the whole world is going to shit.
I think this
so
is because I think the red pill.
There's also
the young kids watch.
It's really a self-loathing
and the fucking
and over
and shit, dude. Like, I think that was the problem during COVID. Young kids just
Yeah,
watch Nick
Fuentes.
Fuentes and fucking Andrew Tate and these losers fucking tell them you gotta be a Giga Chad, you gotta fucking do 100 push-ups a day and all this shit. Which
When you got to
some of it is
ask
cool,
yourself,
some of
what
it is cool. I'm not
are
saying
there
all it is.
lobbies out there that are supporting these content creators that are pushing these ideals so that they can
Probably.
get more voters for these types of things? I mean,
Probably.
that's where my mind's at. I think that I wouldn't doubt that the Conservative Party has been using, people like Charlie Kirk and
Sure. Yeah, of course.
like that to
JD Vance is a
to
fucking Peter
reach
Thiel.
younger voting bases and to warp their minds.
This has been the talking point for Republican people since fucking like 1996. They've been talking about we got to get the young kids. We got to like so. This is
And if
not
you go to
new.
the Facebook pages for any of the department sites, all the propaganda that they post is all 1950s looking
Of course.
cartoon
'Cause
type
I know because we're going back to fucking Nazi Germany. They want
art
they want to look at that
of
shit.
like the woman in the kitchen with a
Yep.
piece of bread in her
Yeah.
hand and a dress and a man
Uh-huh.
in a suit and
Yep.
4 kids or whatever.
Yep. Yeah, but you
It's
know what's funny?
all
Back then,
propaganda.
25% of those men were fucking closeted gay and fucking cheating on their wives with dudes. And so like, people act like it was cool, but like, people were fucking around back then too. And even back then, black people didn't have rights. So like, that alone should make it like not a good time to be like going back to like.
I think we can acknowledge there's both sides of the coin, right? There's things where it's gone too far on the left side, but it's
Sure.
also
But
we don't
like,
want to regress back to where we were,
but like, so
where
I can always tell people,
people didn't have rights
sure, but that,
Yeah.
but the 50s
based
also
off
people
of
don't
their
realize.
sex or the color of their skin or their sexual
Sure, but you
orientation.
can't go back to the 50s because that world's over. The reason why America got
Yeah.
to dominate is because we had World War II. We blew up every other goddamn country, so it took them 10 years to build infrastructure to even compete with us. So we had a 10-year. We got to sell to
We're gonna do it
everybody
again.
all the time. Like nobody's gonna buy American shit no more. Everybody hates us. We
Oh
lost
yeah, it's
We
already
don't make
being
anything
that's
anymore.
already happening, and NATO also has
I know.
refused help. This just happened yesterday, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Like we made fun of NATO. Trump made fun of NATO
Yeah.
specifically,
Yeah.
and now, well, guess what happened, dumbass?
I know.
I mean, and they're already talking about not buying our products. Like we're completely grounding ourselves. It's so stupid.
It is. And
We're
that's
driving ourselves
my
into the
whole
dirt.
point is we can't. You're not going back
That's
to that
because
world.
Trump isn't intelligent. He just does everything through
Yeah.
brute force because he's dumb.
He's just an ideologue who has some charisma and money
I think he's just
behind
funny.
him.
I think people just like him because he's
He's a
funny.
silver
That's all it is.
spoon.
He's just.
He's
funny.
not even ideologue. I shouldn't use that word. I'm
I
so
don't
sorry.
even really think he's that
That's not the right term at
charismatic.
all. No,
I just think he's
he's
funny.
just
People like because
he's just a sociopath.
He's a sleazeball. That's why he has to pay
Sleazeball
people to
sociopath,
sleep
yep.
with underage. I shouldn't even put it like that. With children,
Right.
underage
He's-
girls, children.
He did
That's what
confident.
it is.
with women too, so it's not like we fucking didn't know. Like he raped.
He's a
Eugene
fucking
Carroll.
rapist.
Yeah, I'm saying he raped.
But he's also a
Eugene Carroll.
bullshit artist, so
Correct.
Yeah, massive bullshit artist. That's
Again,
that's
a
almost
complete
like not
liar.
confident. I mean, that's
how
like
do you
exactly
bankrupt?
racist and a
How do you
bigot.
bankrupt a casino?
he's a fake ass fucking robot. That's I don't know.
And Stephen Miller is the face of the
He
KKK,
is.
so it's
Stephen
great.
Miller. Honestly, Stephen Miller's the one that runs the country. Like he's the actual president. I've been saying
Well,
this since the beginning.
yeah.
Like he's the one that actually does everything, and Trump just signs off. Goes, oh, okay. Because I always say my joke is.
I mean, Miller and do you think it's also like maybe Illuminati? Maybe some of this
Yes.
like a
I think the World
global
Economic Forum has a
consortium.
major role in the
Well, I'm saying I can see-
destabilization of not just the United States, but multiple nations across the globe.
See, honestly, I can see
Well, there's
Because they
this
want
other
to
guy-
bring
I
forward
can
this
see
one
Russia
world
doing that, or
government.
China, because I was just reading China might have been all these people are trying to do all this shit to us because they want us to fight amongst ourselves so they can take over the parts of the world they want. So I can see because we knew what happened with the whole RussiaGate shit. We know that Russia.
Well, we're
had a
already
billion
fucked.
bots.
We don't really manufacture anything in the United States anymore. China is the one that's manufacturing
Correct.
everything.
Mm-hmm.
So
Because they can sell for cheaper. I mean, so again, how is America going to compete?
those days are over. I mean, we're not.
That's my point. Like, we can't compete with them because they sell for cheaper. So I mean, again, after the war, all these countries caught up to us. Guess what? South Korea makes really good cars. Germany makes really.
So
good
I'm
cars.
pretty salty because I've got about 30 grand in my retirement account right now, and I can't pull it unless I quit my job. And it's like I know that the dollar's going to crash here eventually.
Yeah, I mean, I've been telling people. I think by midterms there might be a collapse. That's my kind of guess. So I'm thinking like.
Because we're going to move to a digital currency anyway.
Eventually, I don't know. I mean, it might eventually probably happen.
If the World Economic Forum succeeds at their push to bring China forth as a major manufacturer, and
well, it's not them; it's China's doing it.
they're going to put it
the
as
BRICS
to
countries in
stabilize
general.
the globe,
Well,
but it's really to do universal basic income through a cryptocurrency type or digital
But
currency.
again, if there's no jobs, is that necessarily a bad thing? Because I'm saying if robots take over all the jobs, that's not necessarily a horrible thing. We're going to need a universal basic income or something to subsidize
Yeah.
humans.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I mean, it sounds all great and nice, but then you have power centralized. You have money centralized in one area, and that's where it gets dangerous.
But it's already that way right
Especially
now.
with digital ID, if they start making it so that they're going to withhold money from you based on your political affiliation or things that you post, stuff like that. That's where it gets dangerous.
Yeah, that is definitely the case right now with like, most of the nation's wealth concentrated in just like 100 people's hands or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And also like we saw Canada cut off the truckers' bank accounts. That's
Yep.
basically how sanctions work
Yep.
internationally, right? Like we we prevented Russia from using the SWIFT like currency exchange thing, and we seized like $200 billion that they had.
We just gave back to them.
Did we?
Yeah, we just relieved sanctions. We just gave Russia $10 billion back to go fight Ukraine.
Of that 200?
Yeah. And now we could buy oil from them. So now people can buy oil from Russia. So AK they're gonna make a lot of money again. Thank you, Trump.
Evie, I wanted to get your opinion on this guy too, and also anyone here looking at the chat. This guy, Professor Jing Kim, I can't remember how to pronounce his name. Dude's really smart. It seems like he knows what he's talking about. Very well informed on economics. Are y'all familiar?
Yeah. Oh, I've never seen this guy, but I watched a couple of videos on like the how important this. Like I said, that's why I knew that like 25% of natural gas and oil come from that strait. So like,
Yep.
it's a big deal.
Yeah, he thinks the Illuminati's involved here too, and he's been interviewed on a lot of big places. He's been on CNN, MSNBC, and just a lot of talk shows and all. It's I never really considered Illuminati. I don't like thinking in those terms. And then like all this stuff came out with Trump and like the
Epstein shit. Yeah.
Epstein trial. I was like, okay, yeah, there's definitely like there's
something here.
There's a communication network of the world's elite that are doing things that only the world's elite could get away with. That's for sure. And if you want to call that Illuminati. So how much they actually have power and money involved in politics and how much they have top-down control is hard to say. Jean here, he says that the Illuminati is like one of three factors. It's like the Illuminati in the West, and then there's like two others that are really impactful in this way as well, but I can't remember.
That lady's name that I just put in the side chat, she actually breaks down the whole Illuminati stuff. So she breaks it down into who the elite families are that have been running these things for so long. It's when you break it down, you get rid of the buzzwords. It makes sense because it's really just rich, powerful families that have been doing this for so long that this is what they do.
There's one thing that happened a couple years back in Britain. I think there's just a very wealthy person who was hung off the side of a bridge as a sign to like that's clearly a sign to the other wealthy people that like, don't cross someone, or like there's things going on that we don't know about like that. They're just ridiculous.
Well, she actually she has an interview out there on YouTube where she was talking about in 2016 that, or was it 2014? It was 2014 or 2016 where she already went through and told us everything that was going to happen with Trump. So this whole Iran war, she talked about that as well.
So these people basically
it's all
ride off the drug
I mean,
of
this
power,
is all being
right?
run by elites who also run the World Economic Forum.
I would say I knew that we're going to attack Iran because, like I said, that was literally in the Mar-a-Lago case. That the Iran shit was the illegal documents that he was holding. So, like, we all knew this is what he was going to do. Like none of this shit's see. And again, we fucking sent the Navy, the big cruises there like 2 weeks before we went, like did this shit. Like everybody in the world.
Yeah, but this
fucking
was
knew.
back in 2016 that she was saying this stuff. I mean,
sure, but I mean, honest. Then even at that point, like, isn't it kind of weird that we got out of the Iranian nuclear deal and shit? Like, you kind of knew again something was gonna happen once you do something major like that to pull out of a peace deal. You know that the opposite of breaking a peace
Yeah.
deal is you're making a war deal now. Like that is the plan. Like again, like these things are kind of foreseeable if anybody just pays attention to geopolitical shit. Like you kind of see what again. Like I know that Taiwan's about to get attacked by China. That's happening soon. Now that we're in Iran, that's gonna happen very fucking soon, and everyone's gonna act surprised. But
well,
it's
they've been having their eyes on Taiwan for a
Sure,
while,
but
but
now
we
is the
didn't pull out
time.
of that peace deal until 2019. So
Sure, but I'm saying that they would have never done it if we weren't in Iran. Now we're spread out, and the world hates us, so we have no NATO.
they've been threatening it for a while. I don't know
Yeah,
if
but
Iran really.
threats are nothing. I'm saying, but actually happening. Like they're moving cruisers right now into Taiwan. I'm pretty sure. So like, this is gonna happen. Very not too long from now.
Yeah, they want their resources as well.
Well, yeah, they want the chips
Their
and
natural
minerals.
resources.
Yeah. And eventually, China's going to take over Australia too. That's the long-term goal, so they can fucking take their minerals down there too. Like that's what I'm saying. Like I feel like the long-term goal is to have 5 nations. Like I said, America owns the West, Russia owns Europe, Israel owns Africa, and Asia is fucking. Like that's
Play
the
too
land.
much risk. Well, no, I'm just kidding.
You're not wrong. Like, that's the way it is. Like, I'm saying, like, isn't it weird that Trump's trying to take over
I'm not
fucking
even.
all? He's talking about making Cuba a state, Canada, Greenland,
I
Venezuela.
mean, yeah, I think if
Like,
there's an Illuminati, they're looking for some sort of stable farm like that doesn't like interfere with the other, right? Like a way to split the fucking whatever, split the spoils.
It's really just rich elite families feuding over land. Is what it is. At the consequences of normal
Like
people's
Palantir.
lives.
I don't know how to think about that. And Palantir and Peter
Some
Thiel,
silly little
Eric
narratives.
Weinstein,
Yep.
yeah.
Peter Thiel, the guy
Like,
that
is
says,
that all?
I don't know if I want people living on Earth. That guy, yeah.
Yeah.
That guy.
And the guy that directly contributed to the Trump administration, or
True.
sorry,
And the ones heavily
his
pushing
campaign,
these data
both of his
centers.
campaigns.
He literally got JD Vance into politics. He paid for his whole run for
Yeah,
senator and
it was
everything,
JD Vance. I'm sorry, I mixed
Yeah.
up.
That's most of them. Same with Charlie Kirk. He didn't start becoming recognized until he was sponsored.
Of course, that's how else do you get? I mean, honestly, how else do you get on like Fox
Exactly.
News or CNN or whatever? Like, you have to be.
You sell your soul to them. That's what you
The
do.
thing is, if you do,
You get so
well, I'm
high
saying
up,
if you do, I'm
you
saying
have
if you
to
do like the
start
Charlie Kirk way, that's
sacrificing
quick.
your moral in order to fit in with the crowd. It's
There are people like I'm saying like if you grinded like 10 years on YouTube and then you finally get to be on like CNN one time or whatever, like that's completely different than you were nobody last year. All of a sudden, like in 6 months, you're on every network and you're on every college campus. Like, who's paying for that? And obviously, you didn't have the money. You didn't have the 5-10 year grind to fucking.
and now you're living in San Diego in a nice apartment.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, there's one thing grinding and getting it naturally versus just fucking you have it all of a sudden.
Well, I don't think people really, if you don't accept their deals, they keep you pretty suppressed, honestly.
Yeah.
They're not going to give you that time.
Yeah.
The time.
It's needed. But
That's why community is so important.
No way.
Like, what are the morals
Connect with your
virtues?
fellow people in
Because that's what's going to
2026.
save us from whatever's to come, is if we come together in our little pockets of community and support each other the best that we can.
Yep, I feel like 100%. So much shit has just like sculpted this like sense of, I don't know, insecurity and like shame that should not have ever been a thing, like across like.
Well, we're not going to defeat them alone. Nope.
That's the whole thing was we have to be more open. Like we're fucking.
And it doesn't
weird.
necessarily have to be through violence either.
We are definitely so weird as people.
There will be violence, though.
I think this is just
like
all like the way everything is. It's just like a random assemblage, and we don't like see it. You know, there's reasons for it, but yeah, I'm a random assemblage
of cells.
Wait, coherent assemblage. That's.
I'm eternal platonic form. Sorry.
Yeah, dog.
I will live forever.
Yeah, that's a fun.
We fund the very things that are destroying us. If you go on the World Economic Forum, you can see all the businesses that contribute towards it. And I'm guilty too.
I mean,
Actually,
the thing
I just
is-
used DoorDash tonight.
Yep, we support
Fucking
people
terrible.
at the top that are
Amazon,
using.
all of it.
So is it the immoral shit that like stabilizes their ability to like do that or what the fuck is it? What is the like meaning system here? Like why these people
At
have
the
to
World
be like
Economic Forum?
no, just like the Epstein class. Like what like why is it that doing the horrific shit that they do like
I think
happens?
Epstein was used. I think Epstein and that crew was used as a form of blackmail for the elites. I mean,
I think that once you're a billionaire kind of person, you get whatever you want. So what's one thing that nobody says you can do is probably fuck kids. So then I think it's a power game. I think that's kind of what it is. A lot of it.
I can't even imagine that.
But again, if you're like one of those people that like always have to break the rules, we all know people that are
Maybe.
break, like so. I'm just saying, if you're a rule breaker and you literally can break every rule, there's only a few that people like are really against. They're gonna break.
They get off on it, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know,
Yeah,
man.
the
It's
power
so
dynamic.
fucking weird.
well, these families have been in
Look what I
charge
could
for
do.
so long that
Nobody
some
can
of these
touch me.
things I think come with their culture in that
Like
elite class because they've been so cut off from the rest of the world.
psychopathy and like everything involving heart and soul or any like just anything authentic. It's like they just completely missed or just never touched them. You know, like
Because you have to be a psychopath to be that rich,
to do all that stuff.
in my
Yeah,
opinion.
and they
Well,
they
it's
get
really
off
like,
on.
it's so justifiable. Like when you ask them how they got their riches, they'll give you a deep, rich, detailed narrative of how they did it, because that narrative's been running the whole time, and it's kind of a toxic form of growth mindset. It's a toxic form of the headstrong. I'm going to get out of bed and go face the challenges of the day and take on all adversities, and the profits that I gain from that are all mine to keep. And you can fuck off because you didn't do the same thing. The path is clear. Everyone has the same capacities. Clearly, this is the false equivalence fallacy, and everybody's doing it. It's the same thing.
It's I deserve this. Not that it's happened. Not because I'm put in these positions and none of us have control over it.
Like you get what you earn. The tit for tat ideology. I have friends that are in this mindset too. It's so hard to get them to shake out of it, and then they'll shake out of it and they'll just go back into it the next day.
Our culture is built on it.
It's like all for cool points.
You're embedded in it.
I would
it's
agree.
embedded
I agree with tit for tat, but it's all about levels. So like, you can't let someone fucking rob you 20 times and then do nothing about. Like that's the tit and there's the tat. You got to fucking punish them. You got to do something to negate the bad.
But what does punishment actually do?
Hopefully, it stops them from trying.
Does it make you feel good, or does it actually solve the problem?
Well, that's the question. This is the vengeance mindset type of punishment, or is it preventative care, where you have a threat and you have a consequence? Like this is what will happen if you don't do this. And then when you get into the system, what do? Like, do you actually have good prison therapy where you have at least one therapist? You know, I mean, we don't have anything like that. We don't have police therapists. It's like there's one police therapist per every 3 states in the U.S. or something. It's ridiculous. Yeah, I think that's actually 3 states. And they come in once a year and they just do a psych evaluation on these police based on like,
know that they're going to be like, what is a police therapist going to do when there's a gun? It's like for a fucking nuance in your
police
thinking,
therapists will turn them gay.
Turning the frogs gay.
What'd you say?
I said, a police therapist? What are you trying to turn them gay?
Yeah, dude, it's. I mean, what is that? Like, we know how hard it is to do critical evaluation and do psych evaluations just for the average human. You're going to evaluate what it's like to be mentally healthy as a police enforcement officer, a law enforcement officer. I mean, that's asking a lot. And that's going to require a lot more guidance and wise guidance and therapy than your average person. Because what we're seeing is the alternative is that people are. So studies on this have been done. police are choosing to stay and do overtime than choose time with their families because they enjoy their job too much. How the fuck do you enjoy your job? You know, I mean, that's what are you
Do they
enjoying?
enjoy it,
Like,
or
you're
is it normal to their nervous system now that they've been exposed to it so many
Well,
times that
the
when they go
theory is,
home they're bored?
well, that's one theory.
Maybe
Another
they
theory
see
is
themselves
it's
as
very
like a
similar. Like
fucking like
it's
cop
just so
on
much
like
adrenaline. Like it's so much. I mean, it's an
Law and
incredibly
Order or some
adrenaline
shit.
rush job, and you have
how
a
many
gun.
police
You know?
officers came from the military?
A lot
That's
of
the
them.
other part.
Yeah, it's also another big factor. But yeah, it seems like they get a lot of fulfillment out of, or just the replacement fulfillment, like spiritual bypassing. It's like meaning bypassing. They get the power complex. They get the ability to tell people what to do and carry a gun while doing so. People can't handle that kind of shit. We're not evolved for that.
And then there's people who go into it who actually genuinely want to help, but then they realize that the culture is so toxic that they end up having to leave anyways because they get burnt out or they get told that they can't be honest on reports. So,
Or they get roped into it in a lot of cases where they'll they can't snitch, they can't say anything about anybody, and they have to keep their mouth shut in order to keep their job.
Yep.
It's like cop culture.
And it pays $40,000 a year. That's the typical average across the country. You put your life on the line daily for the citizens who mock you constantly.
What? It's only 40 grand?
Well, the rich build data centers and deplete our
40 grand a year.
resources.
Be a police officer.
Man, because like I feel like in Minnesota they get paid like almost 100 grand.
Yeah, you would think it would be something.
Well, I'm saying
For your
this
life.
is Minnesota. I mean, I guess I don't know what the national average is, but
Oh, is that how it is in Minnesota?
I'm saying they make
I think
roughly like
the
100
national
grand a
average
year.
is 40.
They get paid a lot.
Yeah, I think the national average is 40. It was 38 in Tennessee.
What if the people
is it?
stormed the police departments in a revolution?
So
You do that with the AI lab.
So
With the AI.
West Virginia is the lowest police officer wage at 47K. That's the lowest.
Maybe I'm just forgetting numbers. Or maybe this is a long time ago.
Because I'm saying I think the average it says roughly is about 76K for the country.
Oh.
That's quite a fucking bit.
Definitely not enough.
For what? Not enough? What do you
Police
mean?
officers?
Be a police officer.
I mean, it's a fucking, again, this
I mean-
they should probably have, there's two things. They should probably, retire / be forced to quit after like a decade. So you probably shouldn't be a police officer your whole life because all you do is see negative, horrible shit. And you start assuming everybody else is horrible and evil. You know, like, so the mentality or you fucking get some goddamn fucking social worker to drive with them so they can talk crazy people out of fucking crazy shit instead of escalating right to fucking guns.
This one job your whole life mindset, like what the fuck? It's like, dude, you look at it and it's like people just look at it as life as like doing one thing forever until you die kind of deal, right?
That's what a lot of people like to do.
I go, I'm set and then I'm going to heaven. Take me, daddy, sky daddy. You know, like I don't
Dude, that's literally my
know.
dad.
The flying spaghetti monster is gonna take me with him.
So sad. I mean, if they're happy, I guess that's cool. What is happiness?
I mean, if they're happy and they're not causing harm to others, I mean, it's a little
That
complicated.
doesn't. Yeah, that seems pretty rare. The people that are following that kind of Christian narrative, at least the way Brandon described it, just there,
Sure.
they're working one job, working a desk job, or just doing their
It's factory.
working on my lawn on my time off, like just straight up improving your home instead of improving your life, improving your behaviors.
But I will say, improving, like if you were to do like yard work, that could be therapeutic because now you're outside, you're fucking just sitting with your thoughts, you know,
Yeah,
like
improving your
so
behavior.
that one.
Well, so you have to be taught how to introspect and catch your thoughts. That's the process of guided meditation. That's why we turn to the ancient masters. They spent thousands of hours looking inward and found the golden nuggets that we can present to people as tools for accessing those next layers of conscious awareness. Right. I've thought about this a lot because I've watched my parents do this. It's really sad, dude.
I randomly
It's
will
so...
talk to my pappy about it because he's still super religious, so it's always like, Pappy, let me just talk to you about this for 1 second. I'm not trying to fucking go crazy into it, but It's tough.
Yeah, because they're very attached, and I don't know, like,
well, he's like
why
73
do
now, so like, dude, like someone like him, like he's lived his whole life like this, so it's gonna be damn near impossible to fucking break it out of him, or whatever you want to call it,
Yeah. Get through.
Yeah.
like I feel like our intelligence is just it's almost situationally developed, dude. I don't know. It's like intelligence is a field phenomenon. I fucking swear to God. Or maybe IQ is base. I don't know.
Yeah. The moment of realization, the aha moments, those are pretty rare.
Sure.
So we have to teach.
It's usually you get like you listen to someone's argument or whatever, and it fucking clicks in your head, and then you sit there and mull about it for like a week or two, or that's usually how people change their minds. It's not the this guy said this one thing, my whole worldview just changed. Like, no, it takes time, takes effort.
Yeah, I mean, your brain architecture is rearranging. That's literally what's happening, especially when you go to sleep. Your connections are changing in your brain as you learn. That's how you retain new information and change perspective. Unless you do the psychedelics, that's the big ones for the, like deep introspective meditations, or get clonked on the head. That's one method. Another one is hitting rock bottom. Drug abuse that leads you to rock bottom. Relationship issues that lead you to rock bottom. Major, massive moments of realization and impactful events, and to shake the brain loose, as it were. And as you get older, those are harder to have, but again, the psychedelics help, as we see with the MDMA, PTSD, and just also like major revelations that the mind-revealing substances afford, the psyche-revealing psychedelics. That's not recommended, obviously. I just bring that up every time we talk about this because I want people to understand the power that those substances have and how unfair it is that we have to try so hard to access what they're offering, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Right.
It's ridiculous, like the amount of revelation.
That shit's always in you, like that. Literally, like if you can somehow unlock that part of your brain, like to constantly have that feeling, or like at least trigger it when you need to or want to, kind of thing. That'd be so dope.
Stable pattern kind of deal, right?
I mean, you can get there. Sam Harris talks about arriving at his experiences on MDMA through just meditation. And he does seem to have achieved some kind of equanimous balance.
Well, it's like, dude, we're trying to sync up with the world kind of thing, right? But like we're living this like personal narrative in this fucking system where our life story is our fucking everything kind of thing, It's like ridiculous.
Yeah, we gotta stop putting so many expectations on ourselves.
Yeah, that's a big part of it.
Yeah.
So many obligations.
We don't know what the actual base neutral human is, Like,
well, again, there's no universal answer. That's always the thing. There's no such thing as a universal answer. Like, you can say what you think it is or what I can say it is, but it doesn't mean it's right, or like not for everybody. It's the whole what's a woman, what's a man thing. Like, there's no universal one answer. Like, there's a biology of it, I get that, but not like, like
in the context of people like wanting to be that thing, like fucking call them that thing, it's like respect their.
So think about this: like, how many guys call their car she or her girl or whatever, right?
Right.
Like,
Oh
it's not a fucking XY chromosome. It's not X, it's not the biology, but you still call it a she, right? Or like the fucking like Titanic and shit. Like, oh, she's flying or whatever. It's like, what do you mean she?
Right. Not much of an issue. Like, are people still debating this, or have we finally gone out like the trans LGBTQ
it'll
phase?
never end as long as Trump and them are office, because they'll always bring it back up.
Probably true.
Oh, he just signed an executive order like 3 days ago saying, oh, women can't have, or you can't have transgenders in sports, and you can't have hormone blockers and shit before you're 18.
Isn't it just like double digits? Or some shit like that.
And I guess that's
there
like
was
the hormone blocker.
There was 11 like transgender athletes in all of college sports. they
dude, people are fucking retards
for 11 people.
Like, dude, it's just people wanting to play a game.
Sure.
With other people. We're playing games, dude.
Yeah.
I do get it. I mean, it is a very small number, but when it comes to sports, like, you do have to have rules and regulations.
Sure.
That's a big thing in the West, especially with football. And I saw it in the Olympics, like when you watch the wall climbing events in particular. I don't really have like strong feelings about this. I was just curious when I was watching the last Olympics. The men climbing the wall, it's much faster than the women.
Sure, and of
Just
course,
because of the fact of the upper
but
body.
again, so I mean, if
There are
you want
things
to
that
get
women
pedantic, what if
like
what if the
the
kid was
balance
what
based sports are.
what a 12-year-old kid that just transgender started like hormone blockers, would they be as good at climbing the walls and stuff? You know,
Yeah,
like
so like the best. I mean, the best they can come up with is just no hormone blockers allowed or something, or like we're gonna test to see your testosterone levels. That one's crazy because that doesn't equate to ability. But
no, but I mean,
yeah,
in the end though, like
I don't know
guess
how to
what?
think
There's
about
all
this.
there. I always say there's all males in NBA right now, but there's a guy that's 7'5" and can do anything he fucking wants. It's not fair. Just even though they're all men, doesn't mean it's gonna be fair, right? Like you're never gonna get certain
What's
way
probably
like
have weight classes, like
weight.
in weight classes in MMA fights.
Yep,
That's one.
that's one way. Yeah, I've listened to Neil deGrasse Tyson talk about like you calculate how much hormones or whatever they got in their system and shit too. So I mean, there's ways of doing it. Just you just have to get creative, like you said.
Yeah, you just gotta stay open minded and
Well,
not
yeah, that's what he's saying.
default
You
to
got to get
ideology.
creative. You got to fucking allow an answer that you didn't see coming become a thing. You know, like
I think we'll figure it out. We just gotta stop getting so butthurt. That's the key.
well, again, the thing is,
We just teach
just
the
because
art of
someone's
non-butthurt.
different than
Absolutely
you,
true.
well, I'm just saying someone's
Absolutely.
different than you. You don't have to hate them or like think lesser of them or whatever the fuck. You know,
I-
like
I'm so protective of other people, dude. Like with my I don't know what it is. It's so fucking weird. It's like I absorb other people's sensitivity, and it's so weird.
over emotional, I guess, or whatever.
Yeah,
You an
well, like
empath, Brandon? Do you?
no, it's not. No, it's not even like
feel-
by choice at all, dude. It's by like fucking receiving friction and like, all right, man, like, shit. I guess I'll just not say anything at all. Like, fuck, you know. If you ever bring up opposing points, so it's
Oh yeah, I know the feeling. That's
yeah, dude.
very unfortunate.
Sorry.
It's important to learn how to talk to different people at different times. And I do find the majority of people that are of different sexual orientations or new sexual orientations, gender orientations, are pretty dang open-minded. They're pretty open to discussion. It's very rare that they're like really like caught up in their sexual identity as the answer to all their
Right.
problems. But I have seen that. I've seen what I think is cases of that in real life. It's hard to know for sure. But, I mean, what do you do? Like, there's certainly worse things to be basing your identity on.
Right. I mean, it's really not a big deal.
I just feel like
Really not a thing.
people's identity should just be your goal should just be good people. Like I don't I like sports, but like I wouldn't make that like my identity. Like I like or like even like no, like I just want to be a good person to as many people as I can. Like in the end, that should be the only thing you should strive for.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
You
very
should
simple.
derive some meaning from it. So, get this: Arnold Schwarzenegger actually has some philosophy on, what's it called, bodybuilding,
Mm-hmm.
and the way that that's changed because people are getting juiced up and using steroids and all this. And
Yeah.
he says, back in my day, bodybuilding was an art form meant to exemplify the maximum. He didn't say beauty, but it was like the maximum. Something beauty-ish about the human body and physique. Like that's meant to show that off, like what the human body is capable of. And now it's mutated.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't say mutated either, but he was using like strong language with that. Yeah. So like that, if you're building your body up to display, not that you yourself are the best version of the human form, but like this is what the human physique can and potential. Same with the gymnastics and any of like the balance-based sports, like you're really maxing out on the flow arts, and you have to bring some part of your ego into that too. Like it's good to take pride and develop self-esteem from getting a trophy too. which is a conservative argument against the participation trophy.
And I agree with that kind of to an extent. Like,
Yeah,
because the thing is, I always say it's the Incredibles. If everyone's special, no one's special. So like, if I work my ass off to be the best in this tournament, individually and or team, whatever the fuck, I want to be recognized for it. Like, I want people to know, like, dude, our team kicked ass. Our team did the best we could, or whatever. You know, like, I don't want it to be, oh, we all got to. Now, like, if you want to give everyone like a ribbon, and then like the team that wins or whatever, give them like big trophies or something, like differentiate themselves from the other. I guess maybe I could be down with that, but in general, people need to have a sense of pride. If you don't, nothing good's gonna come from it.
I feel like we think about it too much. If it's like, I feel like we have to find some balance point, some like center point, because it's like all this stuff is narrative and identity shit at the same. You know, it's like we're just oscillating for like, it's like I don't know how to say it. It's a hard thing to. We're drawn off from like a center kind of deal, right? Like we're not being organic about it, kind of thing. I don't know.
Not being organic enough.
We're trying to force
natural
shit.
sources.
I don't know. I forgot the original context. I'm fucking stoned.
Too stoned. Nintendo.
I do like the assemblage concept, though. It seems like it applies really well.
What does that mean?
Imagine things randomly falling into positions as they come flying into, a scene kind of thing. But like
the watchmaking itself.
So like the way things lay up against each other and produce like a stable quote unquote structure, one which is like remains, whether it completes or results into a function or not, kind of thing. Almost like word salad. Like if you produce like a word salad sentence, it's an assemblage, but not one which can be deciphered exactly, I guess.
Yeah.
Like the precise semiotic region or regime is unknown, from which the references are coming from.
Oh, I just read this and it's true. Just double check. If we were to ever leave NATO, Trump then would need 2/3 of the Senate vote.
Okay.
So, like, it's gonna be almost impossible. We don't agree on anything like that.
I hate this whole global picture because it's like,
I don't mind it, but like, I just wish we'd understand that we're all in the same team. Like, we're all human beings. Like, in the end,
yeah, that's like the relevance realization kind of deal. Like the set of like realizations that these people need to make, like that connects us. Like, come on, you fucking retards, let's go.
Sam Huntington, the guy was talking about earlier? Like, just because two cultures doesn't fucking like work together because we're opposite, whatever, right? Like, you can do things without being like wartime shit. Like, you can just not trade with them. Like, okay, we're not gonna buy shit from you. We're gonna buy from every other country that we like support their political ideas or whatever. Like, there's ways of doing things without having to jump right into fucking I'm gonna blow your ass up and have to be violent and shit. Like, just because you don't like someone doesn't mean that you have to be physically bad with them. A lot of people I don't like, I just stay away from them. So like I'm saying, just do that on a political scale. Like, oh, go to like Iran, cool. We're never touching your oil. We're never trading with you. You're not buying nothing. Like, that's the way to do it. Probably that's less violence or wartime.
These are like the people in control, and then like people are meanwhile like getting into fights in bars and getting thrown out of the fucking bars, right?
Totally. I see it.
Like low-level citizens, but like the people at the top, they get the fucking make sure.
They do, but the thing is, those people at the top are doing exactly the same thing as the guy at the bar. It's just with a bigger scale. The guy at the bar is fighting one guy. Well, now if Trump gets pissed, he's fighting a whole country or the whole world.
He's supposed to be the best. And this was the lead civilization, But dude,
War
these
is
are just
bar
pathetic
fights
people.
between
I swear to
brothers.
God,
Kind
the
of.
ego just makes us fucking pathetic, and it makes us unable to learn from the past and sort of like absorb the like psychotech, the inherent and like the fucking deeds and like behaviors and mindsets of the motherfuckers who did great things of the past. We're just so attached to identity, we're not carrying the torch
But the
forward.
thing is, again, it's you're romanticizing the things in the past because the thing is, America was never perfect, like perfect. Like we've always had flaws. We've
I'm
always
not talking
struggled.
about America. Dude, America's like 200 years or
Sorry.
whatever.
Well,
Like fuck America. Like
but
dude,
even
I'm
like
not saying
Italy, pick a country. I'm
like
saying like
America's fine, but
nobody's
like
been
the
perfect.
way these idiots jerk off to like Abraham Lincoln and George Washington and like all these more, it's like, dude, you guys know there's like other points of time that like humanity has been at, like, and just so many like different like ideals and ways of approaching existing and like meaning systems and like modes of producing and interpreting. Like it's just like I feel like that's why I'm fucking going nuts over this, because it's like, why are people so fucking shit when it's like
Because they don't know it.
what's good or honorable or like fucking worthy of like including as a part of your life and personality, like that shit should be obvious, but like everybody's just so
But again, it goes back to the individualistic thing. Like, guess what? If there's a law that I agree, I want to vote for this law,
it's like
but it affects 200 people
aesthetics.
fucking bad, but I win, I'm probably gonna do it, right? Like I'm gonna vote for
It's
it.
like
Just it's the individualistic.
aesthetics is like a fucking like limiter or like attractor for like navigation, like the cognitive navigation, like and it like serves as a like a a limiter. Whether you have certain like romantic ideals or whatever, like that fucking has a big role on like what you're able to even project what life can be, like the like levels of safety and like meaning in life and so on and so forth, like, and the aesthetics of modern society just is not friendly to the mind moving away from the scene. Like there are no like signs which refer like outside of the scene, basically, like not generally, like you look at like Gothic architecture or something like that, or like classical architecture. Well, I mean that's like that's part of the brutal whatever, but yeah, you were supposed to, yeah, the aesthetics of our society plays a big role. Like it's basically psychotech that would connect the mind elsewhere associatively, enhance our phenomenology of life, I guess. If you guys are tracking me. The vibe, dude. The vibe. It's all about the vibe.
Yep, and that's the problem. We're I thought
The vibe
I
fucking
thought it was supposed to
sucks.
be facts over feelings, but everyone's all about feelings over facts all the time.
Everybody wants to protect their narrative.
Yeah.
I'm not a retard. You're a retard.
The thing is, I might be dumb and stupid. That's fine. But like, at least can you show me so then I can actually grow and get better as myself? Like,
Yeah, man. Like, fuck. Decentering. That is what I think is very, like, both centering and decentering, because, fuck. But the opposite of egocentric, but also find your sort of objective core, if you can call it that. If you can find it. What is common amongst human beings? What do we all share at this very present moment, in an abstract sense?
fuck, I don't even know. The thing is, not everybody.
Sensation,
I can get you things that like 95% of us agree on.
bodily shit.
Even then, there's gonna be people that are crazy that will not agree. So like, that's what I'm saying. Like, you'll never get 100%, but you can get majority or like.
Well, it depends on what we. So it's like the same tool, the same set of possible like ingredients, or like the same palette exists, possible palette, but people use limited psychic energy to process or like include it all into a single picture, or like And also there's a sequence thing too, right? Like sort of like a cognitive function thing.
Mm-hmm.
There's something we're doing at this very moment, you know. Like with every word we speak, it's not just fucking chemicals.
Yeah, I know, right? I
That's
mean,
a part of it,
even
for
if we
sure.
are, the thing is, even if we are just chemicals, it's still you, and your brain still dictates who you
What's
are, what you
like
are, or whatever. You know, like
the way I've been looking at it, it's like a development or like evolution of a physical body and its relationship with space, time, and whatever else is in the field, right? That's
yeah,
all that's changed really as far as physical or cosmic development has happened. Like we're just like pain. What does pain exist for? To prevent something, like to react to a thing's presence to prevent death, or set a connection
which is even
such as
crazier when you
fire
think about
hot,
it.
you know.
Well, I'm saying when you think about it, you don't even feel pain until your brain actually dictates. Like you put your hand on a fucking hot stove, until you actually look and see it's a hot stove or whatever. You won't even feel it until your brain's
Yeah.
conscious of it. You know, like so it's crazy to think about. Like you can go through a lot of pain without even fucking knowing. I mean, think about surgeries. They cut your whole fucking body up and do all this crazy shit. You don't feel a thing of it. You know, like it's just wild
Yeah.
how powerful
But
your
it's
brain
it's like
is.
an evolution though, right? To keep a physical body intact, right?
Yeah, that's the
Like
goal. All the
then logic and all this other stuff, right? Emotion, like all, like it's all physical body, like structure, coherence stuff. Yeah. And then the world complexifies, and suddenly a world in the world exists because a creature can associate many, many things together and produce a world, which lines up with the universe, whatever that is. What is the universe?
what is the universe?
Yeah.
I suppose. I mean, if you want to get pedantic, it's just space time expanding. I mean, there's things inside the universe, but the universe itself is just space time forever expanding.
That's
Some people think it
insane.
has a wave function.
I mean, and I think it's probably true, but it hasn't been proven yet. But I kind of think string theory is probably real. But
Yeah.
as of right now,
Well,
we
they're
don't
trying to
know.
do quantum gravity is the new hot thing, or they're trying to use what they can of string theory and
Yes.
work with figuring out how gravity works.
Like I said, I think it's probably true, but I can't say it is because we have no proof yet. But
Yeah.
it
The
seems to
problem with
line up.
string theory is it's the beauty argument. Like we're as humans very bewitched by beautiful math and things that look really good, and so we're kind of doing experiments that confirm that, like confirming our biases in the way that we experiment.
Sure.
And we realize that Brian Greene is standing here like,
Mm-hmm.
no, that's not how it is, y'all. And he's like the last standing bastion of string theory.
Yeah.
Brian Greene's awesome too.
I
Like if
do
you
know
want to learn
Brian
more,
Green. I
definitely
do know
be
Brian.
curious.
I like him a lot too.
Yeah, I should check this shit. I haven't looked into string theory for whatever reason, but I mean the idea that everything's vibrating strings or whatever. Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's the whole fucking if I flicked your nose here down the fucking universe, something else fucking felt that or is going
It's
with the
the
same
same
fucking.
thing as
That is
saying
the
everything
case.
is a frequency,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah, they're all
So,
similar.
and
Like I
then
said,
in resonance,
it's probably true, but I can't say. Same as like
what just
I'm
occurs.
kind of leaning towards. I think we're in a simulation. Like the more I look at the math people behind
But
it, it's
again,
like
what does that mean? Like, what is every time I hear that, then you still have to explain how the simulation works. So,
well,
who
like I said,
created the simulation?
I don't know. That's your god. You're
If
saying
it's
if there is a
and
god,
it's
the
the
god is the
God
original
argument.
simulator.
What if we're actually produced by many different sources at the same time?
Are you
What
talking
if
about like
Wouldn't that be
many,
less
like many god?
likely?
Oh, I mean, the only thing I can think of
what
is
if it's pick your timeline? You
And
know?
through Bayesian reasoning, that would be less likely, I think, or just like
only
statistically.
thing I can think of what you're saying is that like instead of like one person being like the simulator, it's like a whole team of people that are making the simulation that started it all and go down the road.
I don't know if it's thermodynamically feasible to produce a complex universe with a severe, with a very, very limited pool of resources, like a very finite list
Well,
of
it's only
resources. You
finite
know,
here
like
though, because like if you go to university, there's infinite amount of things. Like
I don't know how it would be possible to produce like the quantity or like a quantitatively greater structure informationally within, like a regular ass, just in like an office in fucking Earth or whatever on Earth, like, you know what I mean? It's like, it doesn't seem possible to have this much information in one place in any universe, right? So I don't know. So it's like
I mean,
we're,
realistically,
we're using our concept of science to like dig out of like throw it away, you know what I mean? Without looking at the relationships that we've established with science.
well, science is just. I mean, all in the end, is just trying to explain what we know. I mean, it doesn't like I know people say like science found this, but I mean, in a sense, it did obviously, but it was there the whole time. It was just discovered, like kind of thing. So
So,
kind of like math.
well, it's like, but it's like, okay, I don't know. I don't think, I have to think about it more. I feel like quantitatively, it doesn't seem feasible that we would be in a simulation because of the resources that it would be required to produce information on the level that we experience in total, right? It's like okay, so a simulation produces a universe inside of it, right? But how do you do that without a universe? Like a whole entire universe.
Yeah.
I don't know. Is that persuasive? I don't know.
I don't know.
What else was I thinking? Yeah, I don't know if the multiple sources. I mean, the multiple sources thing is interesting, but I don't think for a simulation. I'm interested in like a metaphysical optimism. But I don't know if I don't know if it's doable, feasible through like a self-creating structure. So like that's what I think is interesting with the universe. Yeah, that's a self-creating structure. And what that implies for its future, like as something that's maybe just avoiding collapse too, right? Because it is absolutely just avoiding collapse. That's so whatever neg entropy makes happen is in neg entropy's future, in our future.
Entropy.
We are the tip of the negentropic spear.
The negentropic spear. Yeah, I just like complexification, but
Flexification.
yeah, stop saying negentropic.
That's the sane view.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
it's the opposite of entropy and the breakdown. I guess chaos also is order. Complexification, make it more complicated.
Oh, I must eat food.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. Making goat cheese burrito, chicken and spinach.
All right, I have to go to bed. So, but I love y'all.
All right, man.
All right, guys, peace
You the
out.
best.
Bro.
Peace out. All right, I gotta start trying to roll to bed.